Cool. Waiting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for being a tad late. The reason and the context for that is literally just, and I mean literally, just put the finishing touches on a movie review that I've literally just put up, and looking at restrictions, nothing's popped up, so yay. So let's see what fun. Yeah, everything's come up as it's supposed to. So good. Apparently we got at least one person watching this evening. Hey Gwyn.
Hello.
One article I think we're going to get into this evening, and we're just going to deal with this as is. And a certain person needs to learn the value of a certain L.
Yeah.
Joss, when will you learn?
Not this shit. Oh no.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer star opens up about on-set altercation with Joss Whedon. James Masters is one of a handful of Buffy the Vampire Slayer alumni who weighed in on following questions about Joss Whedon's conduct on the set of the classic fantasy drama. The Angel and Runaway star with Smallville's Michael Rosenbaum on the Inside of Your Podcast, and addressed questions about what he knew, when he knew it, and how he feels about the situation. He previously spoken with Rosenbaum about his personal experiences with Whedon, who did not want Angel to be a romantic interest for Buffy, and who was resistant to the Spike's popularity at first. Comicbook.com, I'm sure the Spike wouldn't mind speaking in third person like The Rock, but it's just Spike. He reiterated a story he previously told about how the character's rising popularity led to network pressure to keep Spike beyond the original 5-episode arc. That led to a confrontation wherein Whedon apparently pushed Masters up against a wall. Here's my take on Spike. Lovable asshole. That's all you need to know. The guy... Imagine, like, a snarkier, more asshole-ish version of Spider-Man, but make him a vampire. And obviously without spider powers, although Spike going around, swinging around Sunnydale like Spidey, it'd be like, hey, check this out, guys, I'm Spider-Man. Angel's like going, you're embarrassing us, and then Spike's like, yeah, you're embarrassing us with your brooding, get over her. I don't remember how it started, Masters admitted, saying that Whedon declared the character would be killed no matter how popular he was, repeating, you're dead. He recalled thinking of Whedon as a mad wizard. That's polite compared to what some people have to say about him. But you didn't want to make angry. Yeah, I don't think Whedon suffers with Banner syndrome, just saying. He said that Whedon has been under an enormous amount of pressure to live up to the high bar that on the early seasons of Buffy had set. Still, as of 2020, that had not soured the relationship between the pair. If he, Whedon, would be for anything, he'd be there in a heartbeat, Masters shared in 2020. I told Joss, whether it's one line or 50, I'd come, no matter what, where I was in the world, but if he wanted to film me doing Spike, he had 7 years because I'm aging and Spike's a vampire, and I don't want to play an aged Spike. If there was a way, or if Spike was always in vampire face, then that might work. To be fair to what Masters is saying, there's a lot of weighted logic to what he's saying, because vampires are supposed to be eternally young, and to be fair to David Boreanaz, if he so chose to, he could come back as Angel if he wanted to today, because that boy has aged extremely little. Whereas James Masters is not so fortunate.
Yeah.
But considering the CG that they used to de-age Cage, Samuel L. Jackson, and Captain Marvel. I mean, looking at the footage, I think after a while, if you would watch, say, footage from the first Avengers movie and then watch Captain Marvel, maybe if you saw the movie after, say, 50 times and paid attention to the nuances and the details of the CG, then yeah, you'd be able to tell. But at first glance, 90s Nick Fury versus 2010's Nick Fury, you don't know the you wouldn't know the difference between real footage and CG. Or to make a much better example, look at footage of Samuel L. Jackson from Jurassic Park and Pulp Fiction, and then look at him in Captain Marvel. If there is a difference, it's like maybe 2%, because the CG's that good. And here's another little nugget that you may not know. The scene at the end of Iron Man 3, where Stark is throwing his arc reactor into the water, that's a body double actor with RDJ's face superimposed onto the double's face.
Oh.
The reason for that is RDJ actually broke his ankle before that scene took place. So, in order for it not to be jarring for RDJ, they brought in, let's go ahead, they just brought in a stunt double, but superimposed his face onto him. And I'm guessing it would have been with Weta Digital, and you can't tell the difference because the CG is that well done. So, I think there are instances in the world, in the industry, where if they pay that much attention and do the superimposition correctly, you can't tell the difference. Which, or the other way that they could do, if Hollywood actually decided to wake up and realize the potential of this technology, deepfake a young James Masters face onto current James Masters. That way you could get around him playing young Spike. I mean, or if they decided to make like a very high quality CG Buffy movie where the actors could do motion capture but then have their younger appearances pasted on. I mean, there's an example later, anyone can feel free to go look at this later at their own discretion. Somebody did the Jeff Bridges CG properly for Tron Legacy, where they'll have the comparison of the original one from 2010 and deep faking a 1989 version of Jeff Bridges onto there. It's not perfect, but it's about 8 times superior to what had been done before, because 11 years later, I look back at the footage of Clue. It's very jarring. In 2010, this was the best they had to work with, but as we all know, CG dates itself within 5 years of the release of a movie. Although, safe to say, and I keep ramming this home, the dinosaurs of Jurassic Park from the original still hold up reasonably well. But that's also because they used it sparingly. Apparently that is actually the end of the article with regards to the set of Masters versus Whedon. Or we could have James Masters of the universe. And there's lids like, don't give him ideas. Hey Sean. Oh, apparently my voice needs turning up a bit according to them. Okay. I think I can fix that. The only reason I've had certain things turned down, and I'm going to get into not too much of a personal thing with this, but where I live currently, because the Yeti microphone is so sensitive to all the sounds that are going around it, it's just a little bit difficult to work with. Alright, Sean, I've boosted the microphone volume up. Tell me if you can hear it better now. Oh yeah, apparently they can barely hear me. So that's not good. Alright. Here's the thing, guys. So mine is just getting ready, the future and stuff. Hang on. Because here's the thing, I've got the music turned down to the lowest point so that normally you'd be able to hear my voice over it. It says a bit better. Okay, sure, when you're saying that, is it marginally better or a lot better? Because hang on. Oh, Gwyn says she can hear us much better now. Okay. Okay.
That's good.
I'll just ask the audience this because obviously, you know, Steve and Liz can hear me reasonably well. At least I'd like to think they can.
Mm-hmm.
Does the audience need me to go through the entire article yet again, or shall we just move on from it? Waiting for them to say something. Like I said last week, folks, it's not SKL if we don't have technicalities. Yeah, and particularly with regards to audio work, I'm trying to find a happy medium with regards to doing Yeah, Sean says sounds better now. I understood what you were saying. It was just difficult. Okay, so we'll kind of move on. What I'm trying to do with regards to finding a happy medium is trying to get the microphone to such a point where I'm not having to use too much noise removal, because those that have done voice recordings before will know if you do remove ambient background noise, yes, it does remove distractions, but it lowers the quality of your recording a little. And I'm just trying to find that happy balance where I can have that and try to sound as coherent as possible, because I live right next door to a busy road where I live, and it's either I record during the day and have noise removal, or I record in the early hours of the morning when there's little to no noise out there, but unfortunately it's irked a few of my neighbors, so it's trying to strike that balance, and that's not always easy. It's probably just as well Kaiju suggested all that time ago to actually have music playing in the background, so that, you know, when I go to do the editing, I could just have music playing in the background, and you're not having, if any, like, you know, cars going by is in there, it's probably like a tiny blip on the radar, so it's not too distracting. I'll do a quick recap just so that for those listening for future, you know, replays know what's going on. The short end of it is Joss Whedon said that, you know, James Master's character was going to die regardless of how popular it was. The network kind of forced it upon him, saying, look, this character needs to stay because Spike is basically a lovable asshole. That's just the short end of the stick. You know, I don't think anybody had any idea how popular this character would be when he originally came in, because let me see if I remember this correctly. First season of Buffy came in '97, and when did Liz? You're the the Buffy expert, when did Spike originally show up? Was that season 2 or 3?
Season 2, the second episode of season 2, I believe, because at that point, the first episode was just wrapping up the storyline with the Master and how remnants of that. Season 2, the second episode was the introduction of both not only Spike but also Drusilla. So,
and so say season 2, that had to be, I'm presuming, early to mid 98.
I believe so.
Yeah, cause...
hold on. Yeah, I think it was 97 because Buffy was actually a mid-season replacement. They didn't think it was gonna last because the first season had at least, I think, 11 or 12 episodes. I can't remember, but it was a mid-season replacement. I remember that.
Well, I think it was like most things. Whenever you bring in something new, there's always like, it's not a set track record, it's not this, that. It's like, look, some of your big hitters of the past, from sitcoms to sci-fi shows, they had to start with a pilot episode. I mean, look at the likes of Cheers. Frasier, you could make the argument that Cheers was its entire pilot episode because Frasier was a spin-off, but the point is, every single show has to start with a pilot episode just to say, here is the ideas we have for this, let's see where we go. And, you know, all these years later, I mean, say what we will about Joss Whedon as a person, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a TV series.
Yeah.
I think the man needs to reevaluate certain things in his life, but
yeah. That's his business.
Yes. But basically, short end of the stick is Masters is just weighing in on Whedon's less than tactful business and tactful ethics on the set. I mean, pinning Masters up against the wall saying, your character would be dead, do you understand me? Dead. It's just like, okay there, Adrian Toomes from Spider-Man Homecoming. It's like, I'm gonna kill you dead. Really? I didn't know there was another version of it.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
It's the Raiden Ranger.
Good.
How you doing, man?
Hello.
Say again?
Said hello.
No, Raider was trying to say something, but I think he was being cut off.
Alright, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we
we
can.
can.
Now. Basically, the article we're going through, dude, is Masters is weighing in on his experience of dealing with a certain Mr. Whedon on Buffy. They go and say about Whedon not wanting Angel to be a romantic interest for Buffy. I think it's one of those things where you initially don't go for it, but then when you see it happening organically within the script, where it's just like they're looking at each other and it's just like, can we just go to the bedroom already? Because they had bedroom eyes for each other. You know, that it'd be like a setting where Bruce and Betty didn't happen within any continuity of the Hulk. It's just one of those, bleh. Or, this would be considered sort of heresy. Have a situation where Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy don't happen. It's just like, no. This is the best love interest he's had ever. Not to rag on the character of Mary Jane, here's the thing. I don't hate the character herself. I just don't like the way Kirsten Dunst portrayed her. Particularly in the latter part of the Raimi trilogy, because the way she was portrayed in the animated series in the 90s, a little bit indifferent. I think there were times where she was partially annoying. And the weirdest thing is, I thought Felicia Hardy's Black Cat was more of an interesting fit for him, because he didn't have to save her. I mean, he probably had to save her a couple of times before she became the Black Cat, but you know, that's a story unto itself. And Jennifer Hale, whenever you did the Black Cat voice, you kind of enjoyed it a tiny bit too much, just saying. And particularly the way the characters were drawn in that show, the animators didn't leave much to the imagination whenever Felicia had the Black Cat costume on. Just saying, because I mean, yeah, you know, when you look at, say, guys like Spidey, or whenever the X-Men had that guest appearance on the show, you kind of expect it to, you know, with like all the muscular details. But with Black Cat, they not only showed muscular details, but they showed other shapes going on. And it's like, you know, Fox, this is supposed to be a kid's show. Just saying. Alright. I have rambled on until the cows can come home, as I'm normally known for. But Lids, you're the Buffy alumni aficionado, president, CEO of that particular club within this community. Say what you need to about this. Lids?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Did I say, Lid, you're pretty much the Buffy alumni aficionado with regards to all things Buffy on this show.
Yeah.
Say what you feel about this.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do my best because my throat's like kind of running on fumes right now. But I'll say what I gotta say. Finding out this kind of breaks my heart a bit because I like the character. And it kind of explains a lot of the things that were done with the character. It seems like I get that some of the things that he did because he's a soulless vampire at the time. For example, that the incidents in Seeing Red, if anybody's seen that episode, it feels like Joss was writing him so that the crowd, the audience would hate him. For the most part, it worked. For the most part, it didn't, because we all understood that he was a soulless vampire, and soulless vampires don't understand love. They don't understand physical side of it. They don't understand spirituality or what it means to actually love a person. They just see things as people as a possession. I like what I feel is that like Ross was trying to write him so that the crowd would hate him. That pisses me off because again, he likes to make like his little self-insert Xander. I know he's the character from the beginning, but again, that's a fucking self-insert and you can't convince me otherwise. Again, it's just like that's his business, and it's like you could peel back the layers of that onion, but I don't want to go there. But the fact that he's like can joke about it now, well, not joke about it, but like kind of like find some humor in the situation because he now realizes that he isn't alone in that. That other people felt the same way that he did. And again, Joss has done a lot of people dirty, so it's again. I'm glad these stories are at least coming out so that victims can come forward and say, yeah, this asshole did this to me. Oh, it's like, you're not alone in this. Maybe, hopefully, someday we'll have more come forward and then Ross will just be a footnote in history.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Steven, since you were the one who brought the article to our attention, what's your 2 cents?
Well, at least James Masters is actually taking the high road on this one, and it just shows just how much of a control freak Joss Whedon really was, with especially when it came down to how he wanted the program to be.
All right. Raiden, I know you've only just come in, but as Everman, what do you make of this?
I'm dead ass confused. Can you explain everything, please? Well, not everything, but still, like, a brief...
Masters is basically weighing in on the growing list of dirty laundry defects that Joss Whedon has left behind, to where he said Spike is going to die regardless of how popular the character becomes, and he even pinned Masters up to the wall saying, "You're dead. Dead." And basically Masters is just, giving his observation of what he had to deal with. That's the short end of it.
Alright. Okay, honestly, I appreciate the guy's honesty. I mean, I'm definitely open to a lot of people just finally speaking out on all the BS they've gone through with someone that was so beloved, but now is complete douche. So I respect that. That's all.
Yeah, I do agree with what's been said. James took the high road. He didn't try to get all too personal. He just offered his take. That was it. So yeah, normally I would go and say, here's this L, but Joss, you're not worth it. You never were. Oh, and on a lighter note, I saw Double Toasted's review of No Time to Die. Corey left no prisoners behind. I mean, going so far to say, this isn't the James Bond he's now a sensitive and domesticated Bond. Then it's not James Bond then. It's not. Bond is meant to be a caricature of all things, machismo. That's the whole point of the character. I grant that over time, you have to update a few things just so that you can roll with the times, but I think when you peel away everything that made the character what it is, and I get what some people, gripe at with, there are certain outdated aspects that were used during the Connery movies that wouldn't be considered socially appropriate today. Here's the thing that people need to remember. It was the 60s. This was what was considered socially acceptable at the time, and they didn't have this little crystal ball to be able to look 60 years in the future and see people losing their collective load just because they said like one word that's not even remotely offensive, and then proceed to make a song and dance out of it. I mean, if you want a good example of the character being reasonably updated, look at Pierce Brosnan's GoldenEye. I mean, alright.
Always go. For me, I always go back to Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
I mean,
the character itself to me is one of those people that, he is what he is. Sometimes he can't help himself, but at times, he improves on it. Like, GoldenEye through Die Another Day, for me, Pierce Brosnan's Bond is still number one in my opinion.
Sorry, my Discord was acting up. My internet was acting up.
it's alright.
It's fine.
That's right.
Because here's the thing that some people need to remember. Bond with, the sleazy antics and the multiple amount of women he's liaised with, which would make most teenagers fantasy list like, I can't be like that guy and get that many women. And to those who are listening out there, don't lie to yourselves. Most of you are trying to be James Bond and have Bond's version of the Chictionary. Those that watch Fresh Prince, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh Lord, I know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
But it's not just about that. You know, you have to look at the fact that the character will never say die. The character always gives it other role, and despite what whichever incarnation of M it may be, Bond is M's number one. Because they will always use Bond because they know he's a deal closer. He gets the job done. And, you know, despite what Judi Dench's M may have felt about whether it was Pierce Brosnan or Daniel Craig, there is a level...
I gotta say this to go on about that. Bruh, why the hell did they kill her off in freaking Skyfall? What the shit?
It was her last movie, and I think that's what was suggested. I mean, she could have just retired.
I guess. But the fact they killed her off, that's a slap in the face, in my opinion.
Because to me, and this is purely an objective point of view, based on her performance from when she first showed up in GoldenEye to her last appearance in Skyfall, Judi Dench is the ultimate M. Tells it like it is. Very... When I say cold and callous, I do not mean that in a negative connotation. I mean that in the sense of there's no bullshit with her. It's straight down the middle, the way it's supposed to be. Now, that's not to say Ralph Fiennes isn't the same way, because he's only still growing into this role. But one thing I will say, at the end of Skyfall, when he came in, notice how his office resembled the offices of past M's in MI6. It was looking very similar to the ones that Connery, Moore, Dalton, and Brosnan would walk into. So I thought, I did like that little nod. That was a nice touch. But, you know, and again, going back to the, you know, when people talk about, you know, the aesthetics of Bond, you know, looking at the multiple women he's had
relations with.
Yes, it's a very polite way of phrasing it. It's not just about that. It's all the gadgets, all the actions, and all the, you know, always
intriguing. All the intrigue and spy stuff.
Bond is not just about how many women he can list in a Chictionary. There is so much more to it, and this idea that Bond essentially needs to be emasculated, that you've missed the entire point of James Bond. Because let's put it this way: imagine like a proud male golden retriever or male golden Labrador. You know, they do the Bart Simpson strut to the Bee Gees' Saturday Night Fever. They're on top of their game. You neuter them, they feel less of themselves. They feel like they're not where they're supposed to be. That is effectively what this movie has done to James Bond. Now, people go and say, "Oh, it was outdated." Here's the thing: despite my feelings towards Daniel Craig's bland and wooden portrayal of Bond, Daniel, I've said this so many times, I think you're a fine actor, but you ain't Bond. That's just me. But the Bond character was updated perfectly enough. I mean, compared to how Bond was portrayed by Connery and Moore with regards to relations with women, look at Craig's. It's there, but it's very subtle. It's not so in your face as it was before. So this idea that Craig's Bond was sleazy on the level of how it was in the 60s, I'm gonna say this: fuck off. It's night and day.
Listen, I mean, it's like it's like that Family Guy by cutaway when like, you are going to have sex with me. No, yes, no, yes, no, yes, yes. Remember, people. A million no's means yes. Seriously, I think that's how they see when it comes to Connery's Bond. You know what I mean?
I mean, obviously.
Hey Liz, you good?
Jesus,
Yeah, I'm
she's
fine.
suffering a little bit.
I got a little bit of the flu.
Ugh.
Fine,
Oh no.
it's the regular flu, I'm assuming, because I can still taste and smell. So we're
Okay,
good.
You're good.
Good.
You're good.
That's good. Oof. Hey, get better soon. I wish the flu on them.
Lids, do you happen over in Arizona? Do they serve a syrup dilutable drink called Ribena?
Hey, actually have that. It's real good stuff.
Unfortunately, I've never seen it at a store that I've been to, so I'm assuming it's probably somewhere I don't look. So,
All right. Do you have?
I did have some tea with like a little bit of honey, so
Well, what I'm about
that's
to,
helping me a little bit.
what I'm about to suggest, if you're able to locate a bottle of it or a local equivalent, because what you do, because it's essentially a concentrated fruit syrup drink that you just use water to dilute with. Put a cup of that into the microwave, heat it up for a minute, and obviously don't drink it whilst it's still piping hot, because that'll, make
Oh
you...
no, that would cause more problems.
What you do?
I never knew you can heat the drink.
What you do?
Wow,
Once
that's something new every day.
Once it's simmered to a point where it's not going to burn your taste buds or burn your throat out, you drink that, and that will actually help to soothe the lining of the walls of your throat. And also, because there's vitamin C in that, that'll help your immune system out. So that will ease the coughing, and it'll actually put the immune system back up in the right direction. Also, and I've said this a million times, dark chocolate. There is something.
You know what? I actually have a story about Ribena. The thing is, oh man, I think it was last week. I was suffering runny nose and shit, and it was annoying. So what I did, I don't know. Luckily for me, I had my dad brought Ribena, and it was a childhood drink of mine, and I don't know. When I drink it sometimes and use it Tylenol or whatnot, I don't know. Since then I've been feeling better.
Yeah.
Also, it was mainly because the weather's changing. My body can take it. I felt better.
Yeah.
But all that shit. But yeah, Ribena kind of saved my life a little bit.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, you go and get that done, Lids. Trust me. I mean, alright, it's not going to make you kip up out of bed like Shawn Michaels or Kofi Kingston, although that would be nice if I could do that for any of us.
I would be awesome, but no. I get what you mean.
It will put you in a better place, physically. And as of, like I said, just to finish up, Bond has been modernized enough to the point where if you were to sit these detractors down and say, okay, what you're going to do now is like, no. Sit down and actually watch this so you get the full context. Make them sit down and watch Dr. No, then watch Skyfall, and then make fair comparisons. Don't go to like, oh, this is outdated, this, that. It's like, just sit down and actually watch it objectively. I guarantee you, Skyfall, while it is still a grade A example of how Bond should be done properly, at the same time, it's modernized to where it's acceptable and to where it's still James Bond. I mean, I do agree on the front of, if they tried to do Dr. No the way it was in '62, that would never get made today. It's just one of those things. It just wouldn't happen. But the way that the director Kari Fukunaga has done and said, "Oh, I have not gone out of my way to hire a writer to make this work." Bullshit! You went out of your way to do it. Stop lying. And because we have to use YouTube language, should I ever want to get partnered again in the future, we now have to refer to certain people as drapists. Don't ask. I think it's stupid as well, but you know, that's how people who are monetized are able to keep it. So if you like go to say things about assaulters to minors, you have to say, "Oh, he has done very bad things," because again, it's just how the system works. So yeah, going to say that Bond was a, you know, oh, Sean Connery's Bond was a drapist. I'm like, dude, you're doing a press junket, promotional junket for a movie that is a James Bond movie. You're not exactly helping your case by crapping on, you know, former, you know, past movies while trying to promote the new one. That's like saying, "Oh, Coca-Cola is really bad for you, but that here's newer Coca-Cola." It's just like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, and I'm leaving. And
ruined it. You ruined it, and I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm. And I was really surprised that Corey was as lenient, giving it a low matinee. Oh no, it was Marty that gave the movie a low matinee, because apparently the first half of the movie is decent. You know, it pays homage to Bond movies of the past, but then the second half drops the ball. And they said one of the most unreprising features about this movie was Rami Malek, the villain played by Rami Malek. Rami Malek, an Academy Award-winning actor, for his performance as Freddie Mercury, and you make him boring. How on God's green earth do you manage that?
That is just a crime.
That'd be like, let's see. That'd be like taking the character of Will Smith from Fresh Prince and turning him into Urkel.
No, don't do that. I hurt my throat to do, but no, don't do that.
That'd be like, you know, like in this situation, Will walking up to Ray and go, "Did I do that?" He'd be like, "Boy, get away." Because that's just, no, just no. Right. Mind you, on the subject of Bond still, this came to my attention whilst I was actually just getting the this week's preview set up. Superman's Henry Cavill says he's still very keen to join James Bond franchise. He's waiting on the fan campaign for him to become the next James Bond, and he said he's very keen to join the franchise in any capacity. If Cavill's name comes into the Bond casting talks next year, he's still open to taking on the iconic role. For years, Cavill's name has come up often with fans when discussing who might make a good James Bond. It was recently reported that discussions about the next actor to play the part will begin in 2022. And this resulted in Cavill treading on line with fans rooting for him to get the job once again. During an interview with the Movie Dweeb, Cavill was asked about the James Bond discussions. Because Cavill has spoken about potentially playing 007 in the past, he was asked if he'd be up for joining the franchise as another character, perhaps going from Sherlock Holmes to a Bond villain. The answer Cavill gave suggests he's still definitely up for a team of James Bond producers, Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson, to take on any role they'd have in mind. And this is like from a tweet. "If Barbara and Mike are interested in me in any capacity to be part of their movies, then I will gladly have that discussion with them, and that would be something I'd be very keen to explore further." In other words, Cavill is definitely up for joining the Bond series, even if he's playing the villain or another character besides 007. Even so, the answer obviously includes Bond himself if the producers were to have Cavill in mind for the role. It's good news for fans hoping to see Cavill land the role, but talks of recasting Bond aren't set to begin until next year. These comments are also similar to what Cavill had previously said about potentially playing James Bond. Last year, the actor was much more clear about his desire to suit up as 007, admitting he would jump at the opportunity. At this stage, it's all up in the air. We'll see what happens. But yes, I would love to play Bond. It would be very exciting. One big reason a lot of fans want to see Cavill as Bond is because he came pretty close to getting the role once before. After Pierce Brosnan departed the franchise, the casting search was on to find his replacement for the 2006 Casino Royale. Director Martin Campbell said that Cavill was the only actor besides Daniel Craig in serious contention for the role, and he was rumoured for it at the time. But Cavill was ultimately passed because of his young age at the time. Coincidentally, 38 years young, Cavill is now the exact same age that Craig was when he started Casino Royale. No Time to Die is the fifth and final movie to feature Daniel Craig as James Bond. Yes! Yes!
Hallelujah!
Yes!
Thank you.
Yes! The actor means it this time when he says he's done with the role and gave an emotional farewell to his fellow James Bond team in a set video from No Time to Die. The movie premieres internationally on September 30, followed by its release in US theaters on October 8. Time will tell who his successor will be, but Henry Cavill just might be in the running. Well, let's weigh up the brass taxes. Henry Cavill's time as Superman in the DCEU has kind of been hit and miss. Man of Steel is probably the best modern version of Superman, although I will emphatically defend my statement to the end that Christopher Reeve is still better and is timeless, so you could fit his version of Superman in any decade. Batman v Superman. Now, here's the thing. This is not Cavill's fault. The direction and the material he was given was terrible. I mean, that movie is a beautiful mess. There are parts of it that I like. Ben Affleck is possibly the best Batman since Michael Keaton, although Michael Keaton is still my favourite because the character's all about subtlety. And then we get Justice League.
Oh, that was a hot mess.
I'm intrigued to see Zack Snyder's version, just so I can have like better context.
Actually, I would say Snyder's version was actually better.
I will admit that.
And from what I could see from clips of his version, he dealt with the fake lip problem quite well. I'm sorry, that was so jarring when I saw that on DVD, because I didn't go to the theaters to watch that one probably just as well.
Well, one compliment I will give to the Whedon version of Justice League. At least this Superman had a personality for the most part.
Yeah,
he was flipping like nobody's business with Steppenwolf. It's like I don't give a shit. I'm faster than you. I'm like why was this guy the villain again? You get one KO'd by Steppenwolf.
Well, to be fair, and this is where copying the Avengers formula is not necessarily a bad thing in this context, because in the comics, the Avengers' first villain they dealt with was Loki, and in Justice League, the first villain that the Justice League dealt with in the comics was Steppenwolf. So they are paying attention to continuity and paying respect to what has gone before, so I'll give them that. And then of course we hear about The Witcher. As everyone knows, Cavill is a hardcore gaming fan. I mean, this guy set up his own gaming PC whilst he was in lockdown. And
wow,
he didn't even know The Witcher game was actually based on a book, and he goes, "Give me the book," and it's just like, I want to know more. And from what little I've seen of The Witcher, he's owning and loving that role.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
he is definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he's a reasonably versatile actor, and the thing that's equally redeeming about Cavill, when you listen to him in interviews, he actually comes across as a nice guy. You know,
Yeah, he's has a lot of personality.
he's very likable, very affable, he's got a reasonably good sense of humor, and this is just like a minor note, but I noticed in the extra features of Man of Steel, whenever they were in between takes, he stayed in character and he stayed in accent. He actually stayed in his, Kansas accent from Smallville. I thought, okay, that's dedication. That'd be like, I don't know.
It's kind of like how Chadwick Boseman kind of did on the set of Black Panther and Infinity War and Endgame. He always kept his accent, and he even went during outtakes. He never broke his accent at all.
I mean, I like that. I mean, it just shows dedication. Although, from what I did hear about Eric Stoltz's time on the set of Back to the Future as Marty, because now here's the thing: Eric Stoltz is a very deep method actor. He likes to go in deep, and apparently on the set he would tell everybody, please call me Marty, don't call me Eric, call me Marty. And apparently it irritated Tom F. Wilson to where he was almost acting like Biff for real. Yeah. So with Cavill as a potential replacement for Daniel Craig, as we've said, the guy's got a lot of personality. He's very versatile, and we know from his recent time, in the last couple of runs as Superman, particularly in the Whedon version of Justice League, the guy was actually cracking jokes, which is what the character's supposed to do. It's not like laugh out loud humor like Deadpool or Spidey, but it's very subtle. We talk about Christopher Reeve. I mean, you look at the first Christopher Reeve Superman movie where he's confronting the cat burglar on the side of the building. It's like, hi there, something wrong with the elevator? It's very dry wit. He'll say it. It's funny, but he's playing it serious. And I think taking that and translating that into Bond, and Henry already has that very suave, low-key, savvy, sophisticated demeanor. That'll be like a handmade glove for him. So I'll be interested to see who MGM decide to name as Daniel Craig's replacement. It has to ask this question: is this going to be a continuation, or is this going to be another reboot? Because as it's been seen from the inception of the last version of Bond, is that it was almost a continuing story. It was not like a sense of someone came in to replace, and James Bond was a code name as well as the 00 status. It was almost like it was the same character, but it's just, he just decided to regenerate himself like Doctor Who. Although Doctor Who being James Bond, that would be an interesting conversation to be had at some point in the future, because it would explain why he keep making himself young after every 7 to 8 years or so. More than likely, it'll probably be a reboot, but it depends on where they want to go with it. So, I'm completely sold on him doing that. He's a more than capable actor, and it's something for him to do when he's not working on The Witcher, or when DC actually finally call him back as Superman. It's seriously, Warner Brothers, DC, why haven't we got Man of Steel 2? Seriously, we're coming up to the 9th anniversary next year of Man of Steel, and he hasn't had a sequel. What's up with that? Raiden, you're somewhat of a James Bond. I don't want to say fanatic, but you're definitely somebody who appreciates and understands and respects the character. What do you make of the idea of Henry Cavill taking on that legendary 00 status role?
Hey, I mean, if they give him freedom to actually emote, like no disrespect to he does in Man of Steel, whatnot. Hey, I can see it. I mean, after playing Geralt, who's damn good, by the way, I'd say give him the personality that he gave to Superman in Justice League Snyder Cut after he got snapped out of it. Fun, serious, but fun loving, but always know what to do. So hey, if this happens, I'm all for it. At least it'll give more personality. You know what I mean?
Oh no, I feel ya.
My heart says I still want Idris Elba. I don't care what people say. I say he can kill it as the next James Bond. Maybe in the fantasy world.
The name's Elba. Idris Elba.
Seriously, look at that man. He screams James Bond.
Yes, he does.
But I'll take it as Bloodsport from the Suicide Squad, which is really good. The way watch that shit.
All right, Steven?
With me, it's more of a wait and see situation. No doubt Henry Cavill would be a good actor to place in the Bond universe. Whether he plays Bond or a villain, I'd be happy either way. Just as long as they try to keep true to the spy essence of what makes Bond Bond. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it's one thing that has been lacking severely, especially in the Daniel Craig movies. The essence of espionage.
Yes. I feel ya. Liz?
I mean, for me, it's the same thing. It's like it's a wait and see kind of thing, but Henry Cavill's not a bad choice. I'm with Raiden saying that Idris Elba should probably be in the running for it too. But Henry Cavill's again not a bad choice. He's charismatic. He's got some great acting chops. It's like I can definitely see him play James Bond. I mean, physicality alone. If anybody saw the latest Mission Impossible movie, damn, that dude is scary. Even though he played the bad guy. Spoilers for that movie, but still. But he definitely
came out a couple years ago. He's good.
Yeah, he's actually. I think he could pull it off. Again, for me, it's wait and see. Whatever they pick, it's like anything can happen.
Alrighty. Although, if there were ever a parody where Will Smith could play like a James Bond-esque type character, that would be somewhat amusing. The name's Smith. Will Smith, licensed to be fresh. And we're getting on to, because apparently Will Smith did like a Q&A online. He's named Wild Wild West as his worst movie. It's a thorn in my side. Every actor has a movie that they wish hadn't happened. And in Will Smith's case, he's no exception to the rule. While there are a number of movies that have been panned by critics over his career, it seems that Smith himself has one movie that stands out above the others as his biggest regret. Taking part in GQ's Actually Me, which saw Smith chatting undercover with social media users, a Quora user asked, in your opinion, what is the worst and best movie of Will Smith? Smith seemed to have an easy answer for both sides. For me, I think it's a tie between The First Men in Black and The Pursuit of Happiness. Pursuit of Happiness is a masterpiece. I'm going to say that right now. I'm not normally one for huge drama movies, but Will acted his ass off in that movie.
He did.
He did.
And interesting thing, as Will, as Chris and younger Chris are walking down the road in San Francisco, the real Chris Gardner has a 4-second walk-on part at the end of the movie, and he just looks to the camera. That was the story that was the man the story was based on. A lot of people don't know that. For different reasons, those are two almost perfect movies. The worst, I don't know, Wild Wild West. It's a thorn in my side. To see myself in Chaps, I don't like that. To be fair, Will, it was the 1880s. That's what guys kind of wore.
Well, the chaps weren't the problem. It's everything else.
Including that one part on Double Toasted where Corey purposely kept trying to freeze frame a certain moment at the water tower.
Oh, no! I know what you're talking about.
I looked at them like, Corey, is there something you're trying to tell me there?
Oh my god.
Also, the lady he was having liaisons with in the water tower. How you doing? I do like where he says, oh, come on, woman, you can't just go put a man's thing in just any hole. Is that so? I didn't mean it like that. I was like, oh, I saw what you did there. Wink. It's not unfair to say that Wild Wild West was destroyed by critics when it was released in the 1990s, and then Kevin Smith later goes, oh, like we need him to take a mechanical spider. Lame. It's like, tell us how you real there, Smith. You're not exactly popular at the moment either. Master's revelation. On the plus side, Wild Wild West gave Smith a hit single with the title track. To be fair, to this day, that is still badass.
Oh yeah.
At least he can take some consolation from that, even though that clearly isn't enough to stop him from remembering the movie for all the wrong reasons. Smith also previously expressed his negative opinions on the movie. The 1999 steampunk western was a very loose take on the 60s series, The Wild Wild West, which itself had a TV movie in 1980 called More Wild Wild West. On paper, the film seemed to be a guaranteed hit, with Will Smith appearing alongside Kevin Kline, Kenneth Branagh, and Salma Hayek, and I swear to this day that woman does not age.
Man, what you mean? Oh Lord.
Oh my god.
Under the direction of Men in Black Helmer Barry Sonnenfeld. However, the story of the two US Secret Service agents who have to work together to protect President Ulysses S. Grant from various threats in the setting of the Old West just didn't grab the attention of the public and landed on the wrong side of many critics' sharp tongues when it hit cinemas. Personally, when I saw that back in 1999, I thought, I don't know what you're talking about. I think this thing's funny. It's campy. The movie's in on the joke. It's not taking itself seriously. It's having fun with it.
Exactly.
Although the scene where James West and Artemis are comparing the use of props as a means of disguise, and the look on the train driver's face goes, now feel this. It's just like
oh my god.
the awkwardness was just radiating from that. And I think the line of when he was supposedly about to be hung, he goes, I'm sorry ma'am, would it make it better if I thought you were actually a man? That would not fly today. That'd be like, you can't do that now. Nope. And some people get up in arms about some of the racist undertones in the movie. Here's the thing, it was set in the 1880s, it's in the Wild West, that was considered socially acceptable, but that said, James came back with a couple of his own quips at Loveless, says, well, it's just like women to take your legs out from underneath, and I'm like, you're just being straight up savagery with that. And also, what was the obsession with the spiders in that movie?
Apparently it's because the director has a big fetish for spiders.
Spiders.
Imagine if he directed Spider-Man. Oh, good lord.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he'd be more likely to direct Spider-Geddon if they ever got that far.
No, he'd make Mad Spider in like half a second.
Or Eight-Legged Freaks.
Ugh.
It has been named one of the most unwatchable TV to movie adaptations. Clearly, you never watched Miami Vice. With a
Or,
budget-
or Thunderbirds.
We don't talk about that movie. With a budget of over $170 million, and to be fair, for late 90s standards, that's very expensive back then. These days, it's like, whatever. The figure that made it one of the most expensive movies ever made at the time, adjusting for inflation, box office receipts only totaled $222 million, making it a financial failure. In addition to that, the film found itself in the sights of Raspberry Awards, where it won 5 of its 8 nominations, including Worst Picture and a Worst Original Song. Shut your mouth, Wild Wild West was decent.
But
It is no surprise, therefore, that the movie currently holds a 17% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, like we should take what that website says with any credibility. With a consensus of bombastic, manic, and largely laugh-free, clearly we're watching a different movie. Wild Wild West is a bizarre misfire in which greater care was lavished upon the special effects than on the script. While Smith has managed to redeem himself over again in the 2 decades since Wild Wild West tarnished his run of 90s success, it is clear that the memory of the movie's failure still sticks with him. You can check him out in the new biopic King Richard, which hits theaters at HBO Max on November 19. At the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I look at Wild Wild West for what it is. It's a silly, campy, guilty pleasure, fun movie that if you're going in to look at and take it seriously, then you may as well stop watching it. But if you're going in with the mindset of, I'm going to switch my brain off and just have fun, and just have fun with it, then you're going to enjoy it much more. I mean, it'd be like if you went into Ace Ventura expecting a Chris Nolan movie. Not gonna happen. Although let's not give Chris Nolan ideas like, I'm going to try and reboot Ace Ventura to have this very methodical. It's like, it's Jim Carrey acting like an ass. You don't need to be methodical about that.
It's literally talking out his ass. Stop it.
Literally and figuratively.
Exactly. I'm like, not everything needs a damn reboot.
Oh,
Tell that to Hollywood.
Yeah.
But they don't listen.
Oh, Dan's in the chat. Hey MJ, nice to see you again. You too. Sorry I missed your show last week. It's all good. I also wanted to say I'm looking forward to R. Kelly's new single, Trapped in That Jail Cell.
God, I should not be laughing.
I'm not going to have any comment on that because I feel like that should be said
Off air.
yes. And we try to stay as controversial free as possible other than to say this movie sucks. But, that could be seen controversial to some, but I think when we're talking about the sole subject that Dan's going into, here's the thing, folks. We're a podcast about entertainment and fun, and we like to keep it lighthearted, because that's how it should be. So, that's a subject for off-air, so that's the bare bones about that. Sean says Wild West was okay. Sean says he would do a Spider-Man with the man-spider plot. Oh, good lord, in live action, that would be nightmare fuel before even seeing the movie. I mean, imagine, and I'll say this as discreet as I can, imagine, because they would have to treat that as a horror movie, this idea of Peter Parker going from Spider-Man to Man-Spider, but with like like a werewolf transformation from the
I'll never forget that episode where was freaking in the 90s cartoon was Spidey was trying to get away from the Punisher, and then all of a sudden to the end of the episode, homeboy just transformed. Like, oh, I'm like, holy. I mean, it never scared me, but like, oh man, I could tell that it will scare somebody.
I mean, because that's where I thought they were going in Spider-Man 2 when his powers started failing. Because I thought, hang on, where are they going with this? And then when they said no, it's because Mary Jane's got him messed up mentally, emotionally, and physically. That's why his powers were.
I can't lie to you. I'm gonna say this. That was I still love Spider-Man to this day, but I feel like that was a massive cop out.
But I did like in the animated series that they did actually find a way of removing his mutation disease with the neogenic recombinator, to where he still has his powers and he had his youth taken back from Adrian Toomes. Just now Adrian Toomes has to suffer with the fact he's got this on and off youth rejuvenator, and he has Peter Parker's affliction now. So I did like how they were able to do that in some way, but again, if they were ever to do an adaptation of The Man Spider, Disney, there is no way you could do that as a family rating.
They gotta make that shit a horror movie, kind of like how Fox tried to do it with the New Mutants.
Yeah. Because, like I say, you can push Spidey to, for UK purposes, you can push him to a rated 12 PG, or PG, or in America PG or PG-13. But to make a rated R Spider-Man movie, and no, he will not be coming in to alter bridges on this day, although that would be pretty awesome as a music video. There's no way you could do that, because Spidey is as much for the kids as he is for the adult fans who grew up with him. You couldn't do that movie. Also, an unrelated note with regards to taking two unrelated properties and putting together. I came across a fan music video of taking footage from the original He-Man to Stan Bush's The Touch from the 86 Transformers movie. Never did I ever know I wanted something so bad until I saw it. I'm like, okay, I'm rewatching this 4 times. it's one of those.
Well,
it's one of those.
It's Stan Bush.
It's one of those. You see it, you don't know why you've not seen this before, but you want to see more of it. And with regards to Stan Bush, only ever listen to the original version of that song, not that 2009 emo version that it was meant to be a Sam Wicky's theme. Because Stan, you're not Linkin Park, and I say this objectively, Linkin Park owned that particular genre or style of music. Stan, it doesn't work for you. And then they had to have like this rapper coming in. I was like, Stan, no disrespect, Stan doesn't need a rapper to be like an addition to his music. And folks, you're more than welcome to listen to the 2009 version, but I guarantee you after 12 seconds you're going to click off and go, nope, I'll go listen to the original.
Well, better yet, let's listen to the song he did in 2010, Till All Are One.
Because we're on the timer. Raiden, do you agree or disagree that Wild Wild West was his worst movie, and where does that movie stand with you?
Okay, I'm gonna say this. If he says Wild Wild West is his worst movie, we're not gonna mention his later movies. Gemini Man, I'm looking at you. So for me, it's a massive disagree. I mean, Wild Wild West isn't the best film, but to a lot of people it's a guilty pleasure ish, and I thought it's still watchable. I mean, was his character? Yeah, it was still kind of Bond-like, but for me, he definitely had purpose, especially in the campfire scene where he and Artemis was just talking and all that, which you got more of the character. So the fact he said worse, I don't know. Maybe it just came out to fly or whatever. But there are far worse movies Will Smith has been in, and I'm gonna say Wild Wild West is one of them.
Yeah. Steven?
Never. No, can't have much of opinion because I've never ever seen Wild Wild West.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna have to pass on this occasion.
What would you say was his worst movie then?
Difficult to say because I think for me, out of the worst ones I can recall seeing, probably Hancock.
I actually enjoyed that
movie.
I actually kind of like Hancock.
But keeping in mind, I have not seen a lot of Will Smith movies over the years.
Okay. This one line. This probably wouldn't fly today, but it's the scene after the train wreck, literally and figuratively. So he goes, you should sue him for possibly injuring. He goes, well, you should sue McDonald's because they made you fat, bitch. I'm like, ooh.
Jesus.
I get where the character is coming from, but today,
No.
But I like the fact that it's actually refreshing in a way to see Will play an asshole. I mean, the character grows a bit. One scene that was cut, and I'm having to type this out privately. Raiden knows what I'm talking about.
Ah, damn.
Oh my god.
That I'm not surprised in the slightest that was left on the cutting room floor, because the execs at I'm not sure if it was Warner Bros. Or so, they'd be like, you can't see me, but I'm doing like the Daniel Bryan no motion, like, no. It's like, you can't put that in. Damn. Lids, agree, disagree that Wild Wild West is his worst?
I'm gonna have to disagree with that because again, After Earth exists.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
God. Oh dear God, no. Oh god.
Yeah. At least with Wild Wild West, you get some mild entertainment out of it. After Earth is a freaking slog to watch.
I dead forgot that movie existed.
Oh god.
And I think we've reopened an old wound for Raiden.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It is okay. It's like, it's been a long time since I saw half of that movie. The only reason I did was for Zoe Kravitz. But the rest, oh lord.
Oh god.
Oh,
Sheldon, what did I do to hurt you, man? What did I do to hurt you?
Oh Jesus. Well, and the most messed up part of it, bruh. That movie was Will Smith's idea.
Oh god, yeah, that was a vehicle for Jaden. Oh no. Oh god.
Okay. I'm gonna say this now. Jaden Smith, over the years, he's not bad. He really isn't.
It's just,
yeah, but now, over the years, he's doing good. He's doing pretty good.
Oh God, it's like again, Wild Wild West is like really bad junk food. Not supposed to eat it, but you can't help eating it. After Earth is just stale kale chips. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Damn.
No. After Earth is Karen's potato salad.
Oh
That's about
no.
Ugh.
Okay.
Oh God.
Clearly, I need to lighten the mood once more. So,
I need brain bleach, please. I'm remembering that movie.
can I start a remake of
No,
Wild Wild
sir.
West?
No.
But
No.
what if I play the hunky, handsome, muscular hero?
Honey, that's a
Crazy.
bit of a stretch.
I
Love you, but it's a bit of a stretch.
brain bleach. Dude, remember when I just showed a certain part?
Hmm?
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
No.
What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time to continue the ongoing story of EFAP and J Longbow.
No.
Oh no,
I'll
no.
tell you what. I'll tell you what. We'll do that one directly after this week's preview.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's do that.
Now
Let's
this
go.
one's a little late, but because everyone knows that I've got a slightly different sleeping schedule, which is why I'm a bit of a night owl on Oni's Twitch stream. It's like, hello, Oni's like, oh damn it, not you.
He doesn't even see you until I point you out.
Yeah, we annoyed him on his Arkham Asylum Twitch stream.
Oh God, I saw those clips.
And the bits.
Yeah, we were trying to out Batman each other. It's like, oh god.
Oh God.
Not to mention I was doing as many puns as
What
I
do you
could.
want from me? Competency. Damn it, you beat me to it.
Sorry, Raiden. It's time.
Oh no, I'm scared. No.
Okay.
Hold on to your butts. I'm at 0.
Same here.
Me too.
Raiden,
Ready? Good?
Raiden, you ready? Raiden?
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to check on something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like I say, we're previewing this week's preview, and I'm sorry, dude, but it's time.
Well, you did say you were going to come through it eventually, so hey.
Which means we'll have to come to Genesis and Dark Fate next.
That's next year, though. That's not for a good
Thank
12
Christ.
months yet.
Thank goodness.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, I'm at 0.
I'm at 0.
I am too.
3, 2, 1, play.
Age of AI is upon us. Time when the robots will rule. When they have taken Earth from us, we will remember what fools we were to program self-teaching. They taught themselves to adapt. Acceleration increases. Singularity happens so fast, so fast, so fast, so fast, so fast.
For all the crap I've given this movie down the years, and trust me, I've been brutally honest about this, it does have some clever ideas of taking the story forward and actually having a plot set within the war of humanity versus the machines. How would the world look after Skynet decided to try and take humans out and the slow evolution of Terminators progressing to the T-800s? T-600s are the main infiltration units, and they're much taller, bulkier, and less than convincing human features such as rubber skin that was peeling away from the exoskeleton. It's discovered that humans were being rounded up to provide genetic material to make up the human tissue to put over the new T-800s. Which makes sense since the best way to make these machines look human is to use human material. Despite using a new angle of a human-Terminator hybrid in Marcus Wright, Skynet also seemed to find Kyle Reese as a teenager, thus further eliminating the birth of John Connor in the past, as this would have erased Kyle meeting Sarah and conceiving John. I will give the writers credit for trying this angle of an infiltration unit that had no comprehensive thought that he was being used in that way. Most Terminators have no sense of human emotion and nuances, save for the T-1000 that had some facial expressions that at least made him less suspect, as opposed to the T-800 that only learned some courtesy of John reprogramming him in Judgment Day. I like to think of this as a machine with a human heart and brain. So basically Kit from Knight Rider if he had a human body. And the idea of Skynet planting a signal that would allow the Resistance to think they had found an Achilles heel in them would allow them to tip the balance is another good idea. I felt like that Skynet was lampshading itself when it talked about past failures by sending infiltration units into the past and deciding to go with a deceptive plot like this. That also brings us to the first meeting of John and his father. In any other story where a fully grown adult meets his future father as a teenager would seem absurd. But from the perspective of a franchise like Terminator where time travel has been a factor for the majority of it, then it doesn't seem so ridiculous. It's a nice payoff for the protagonists as well as the audience, as the first meeting between the two characters had never seen each other on film before then. For Kyle, it was good to meet a man that he sees as a leader that has a grasp on what needs to be done, and John, knowing he had finally met his father and that he was safe after freeing him from the human camp at Skynet. I like the nod to T2 where John is playing You Could Be Mine by Guns N' Roses as a means to lure a moto Terminator out before disabling and commandeering it and travelling out to San Francisco. And now for the cons. The romantic angle between Wright and Williams is laughable. There is no rhythm nor chemistry. With Kyle and Sarah in the first movie, you could feel the connection after a while. True, Kyle had to keep his emotions in check due to the nature of him being a soldier, and his number one priority was to protect Sarah from being killed. But in the motel scene where he confesses his love for her, there was a genuine connection between them where he is that honest and vulnerable. With Wright and Williams, it didn't help things that their actors were just going through the motions, and that's something that just kills the mood. And I think that's what lets the movie down, as there are clever ideas in the writing, but it's the way the cast act them out is what leaves it as a less than stellar performance. For me, this is the biggest miscasting of the movie. Every line of dialogue from Bale, all I could hear was Batman. Christian is more than capable of range when you look at performances like American Psycho, The Machinist, and Ford vs. Ferrari. You know the man can be different characters. But as the fourth actor to portray John Connor on screen, he fails terribly. He doesn't do anything to make his character different, particularly when he's interrogating Marcus. All I was hearing was Batman talking to Sam Worthington. And I think the only highlight was hearing of his outburst on set because of a stagehand distracting him that became meme-worthy.
Fuck! And what the fuck is it with you? I was looking at the light. Fuck! And what the fuck is it with you?
Oh good lord, why do Hollywood keep casting this guy? When you look at this performance and the work he did as Jake Sully in Avatar later that year, you'll find that this guy suffers from Ironside syndrome.
They probably stopped at
he
this
has no
point.
range to speak of. He plays the same bland, emotionless protagonist trying to sound American, but his Australian accent comes through. Now either that's down to his dialogue coach or he just doesn't know how to portray one. Go figure. Her role is smaller compared to the rest, but she does well as a supporting player. In Rise of the Machines, Catherine was a veterinarian, and here she has transitioned to being a physician in a world that needed medical doctors. Bryce gives a good performance, but I felt like the script could have given her more to work with. For me, Anton is easily the real star of this movie.
Yep.
You can see the early signs of what would become Michael Biehn's performance in the original. While Kyle is not as experienced as the version that would time travel to 1984, you can still see the smart, resourceful, and savviness of the Resistance soldier as a teenager, acting as the Resistance LA branch, aided by Starr. He shows Kyle keeping a cool head in the face of danger. I enjoyed her performance as Williams, but I wasn't buying the romantic angle between her and Sam Worthington's character. There was just no chemistry. If you look at Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet from Titanic, you believe they're a real couple as they're in sync. Blair and Marcus?
One of the
Nothing.
few redeeming
Wooden,
qualities of X-Men
lifeless,
Origins
and
Wolverine was
still.
her.
So it may as well be
Oh,
Bella
yeah.
and Edward from Twilight. Helena's
Yeah, she
role
was
is
cool
small,
as fuck.
Oh,
but it has an
God.
impact. She portrays
No,
Dr.
don't
Kogan
wait.
effortlessly in the beginning as someone who is clinging to life with the character's diagnosis of cancer, and to even selling her American accent. Then to acting as the face of Skynet in the clean room, where she alludes to Marcus that he was a pawn in their game. Here's a good example of someone with no range to speak of. If you look at his roles from Starship Troopers, Free Willy, and then to his role in X-Men First Class, he only knows how to play Michael Ironside. Gruff, rough around the edges, and then just rinse and repeat. Now that's fine if you're playing a character in multiple sequels or a TV show, but when you're in different movies, it's kind of required for you to be able to vary your portrayals. And unfortunately as Ashdown, he brings nothing new to the table. I was very impressed with this girl's amazing acting skills as she had to portray
General,
someone
quick,
who had
get
become mute
Michael
through
Ironside.
trauma set in the events of post-Judgment Day. Linda's performance was uncredited with her voice recordings, which are an expansion from the end of Terminator 1 back in 1984. This is just a minor critique here. Had these been unused recordings from the original movie when Linda's voice was lighter and softer, then there would have been that sense of continuity. Whereas here, when these were made in 2008, you can clearly hear that Linda's voice is older and raspier. Now, she still gives a decent performance, but given that this is supposed to be recordings from 1984, where the character is supposed to be 18 and Linda recorded these when she was 55, it's night and day. Special and visual effects are more than decent with the hunter-killers and the evolution of the T-1s that have been seen in T3. The explosions are what you would expect from a Terminator movie, being big, loud, and larger than life. The addition of aquatic Terminators that could infiltrate enemy camp waters is a welcomed addition, as Skynet would think of these small details to catch the Resistance off guard. I felt like the eel looked too similar to the tail of Scorponok from 2007's Transformers with the way the metal was
Disturbing.
finished. The giant Terminator and Moto Terminators were amazing to see. I couldn't help but feel they might have been inspired by Cloverfield, where small spiders would leap off the main large creature and target humans. The bulk of the visual effects were done by ILM, and we know this by now. They do more than a decent job with creatures and machines. And then we come to Arnold.
Oh,
jeez
no.
Louise.
Man.
Now, on the one hand,
When I
it was
saw
nice
that
that his
shit,
likeness
it
was
was like, wait
included
a
in the
minute.
movie, but when his
What the
likeness
hell?
was
Come on, that's not
laughably
fair.
bad that you could compare it to the quality of 2004's Catwoman with the CG cat, then we're setting
Hi,
ourselves up for
Arnold.
failure. You can make the argument that it's only for mere moments, but for me, it looked not even close to authentic, and when you can't
Oh,
take that
God,
shit
no, kill it with
serious,
fire.
it hurts the credibility of that scene. I am glad that they improved on this with 2015's Terminator Genesis, where they painstakingly recreated a 1984 Arnold to look more credible. It fails when the T-800 frowns, but aside from that, it was an upgrade over this. This was the last movie that Stan Winston would work on as a special
tried.
effects
I'll give him
supervisor,
that.
and
I
he
will give
passed
it that.
away
The only positive
June
of that movie.
15, 2008, after a long struggle with cancer. McG dedicated the
Oh.
movie to his memory in the credits.
Oh, damn, I don't like
Mr.
McGee.
Elfman, you actually created a score that I didn't know was yours until I saw your name in the credits. Sir, hold on. You discovered range. It's no secret that I've made criticisms down the years when Elfman has scores that are predictably similar, from Batman to Spider-Man, Hulk, and the most recent iteration of The Grinch. But with Salvation, he has a fast-paced, gripping performance that lends itself well to this retro future. The score matched the closing scene of John Connor's contemplation for the future, knowing that despite a hard-won battle, the war was far from over. The movie grossed a profit of $371.4 million against a budget of $200 million. Adjusted for 2021 inflation, and that would be worth $460 million. It received mixed reviews from the press, including this from Roger Ebert of the Chicago Times after giving it 2 out of 4 stars. After scrutinizing the film, I offer you my summary of the story. Guy dies, finds himself resurrected, meets others, fights. that lasts for almost 2 hours. Arnold Schwarzenegger initially praised the story and then changed his mind, later citing that it was awful. It tried hard, not that they didn't try. The acting and everything, it missed the boat. Series creator James Cameron said it was an interesting film, and didn't hate it as much as he thought he would. There were supposed to be 2 planned sequels that would follow Salvation, but this fell into chaos as the Halcyon Company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Linda Hamilton wished the movie the best, but felt the story was perfectly complete with the first 2 and cited this movie as nothing more than milking the cow. There wouldn't be another Terminator movie for 6 years until 2015's Terminator Genesis, with Arnold Schwarzenegger returning to his iconic role in a soft reboot by Paramount Pictures. Dependent on your viewpoint, Terminator Salvation has been enjoyed on DVD, Blu-ray, and now 4K since 2009. I'm MJ Knight, and I'll be back again. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you. Yeah, when I made the comparison between Marcus and Blair being like Bella and Edward, I'm like, yeah, I gotta include that now. And I felt like that was something Raiden would say. It's like worst couple over Kanye and Kim.
Oh, no.
Honestly, I had no idea Danny Elfman did
No,
this
he
movie.
didn't lie.
Really?
Yeah, because
That was a twist.
that doesn't sound like a score he would do.
I know, it sounds like everything he does is kind of like whimsical. Like, come on. I think he believed he did the score for Edward Scissorhands, so
I
I
mean,
think.
yeah, when you hear scores like Hulk or the Grinch reboot, it's like, yeah, this is Elfman. But like I say, T4? No, it sounds like something by someone completely new. Mind you, I introduced one of my work colleagues to a certain song that he did whilst he was part of Oingo Boingo. Oh boy.
No!
Oh dear.
Hey.
But here's the thing. Whilst that song and the video itself is creepy in its own right, it's actually a caricature and spoof of how executive lifestyles were in Hollywood at the time. So he himself is not endorsing it, he's actually making fun of it. It's just the thing with Danny Elfman, whenever he does music videos, you get the impression he's into it. Now, either that's just fine acting on his part, or it's like, Danny, do we need to have a private conversation? Because, Raiden, I know you're one of the biggest detractors when it comes to Salvation, but all these years later, what are your thoughts on the movie compared to when you first saw it, and then thoughts on the review?
Okay, first off, okay, for a lot of people, I've watched this movie in theaters, and oh boy, I kind of regret doing that.
Same here.
But it was cool to do with friends, blah blah blah. But yeah, the whole movie itself, it had, like you said, it had great ideas, but it just felt flat. But I feel like all the characters were just, just generic. Wow, generic. Especially with the whole thing when they interrogated Marcus, and every character was just not listening because the guy that took away so much, they just have no. I feel like they are fighting, but it feels like they have no hope. So at that, it was just hard to get to those type of characters. I think one detail you forgot in your review was Common was in the movie. He played Barnes, but honestly, he was there for a couple scenes and he really wasn't there-ish. So I understand he didn't add him. So yeah, I just feel like the movie itself was just like you said, great ideas, but the execution was just horrible. I love Christian Bale, but I could not. I just could not see him playing John Connor with his acting range. It was just too angry from my standpoint. Yeah, even I will say the only saving grace was, of course, Kyle Reese star. Blair was pretty cool, and Marcus, in a sense, I did like a little bit, but and no one's gonna miss him because I felt like he was a little bland too. But yeah, still, I still look back at the movie. It's not the worst, but I don't like going back. I don't like going back to it. Now, review. Goddamn, I cannot speak today. Anyway, with your review, I really like how you just went to the pros first instead of going to the cons. Instead of going to the cons first, because I feel like the movie does have bright spots, but some of it's marred by his bad decisions. So I really like that. So yeah, he was great.
Steven?
I can't remember watching that movie since it came out in 2009.
I
so that
certainly
was
do
nice.
remember watching it.
It was. I think it was a nice idea to have a film set during the actual war instead of the time travel trope over and over again. But again, there were a lot of things that didn't really help the movie, and you summed them up very nicely.
Thank you.
Not much to say after that.
What does our resident Lidinator have to say?
I gotta admit, I didn't. I don't remember much about the movie because again, it came out so long ago. I guess the only thing anybody remembers is the Christian Bale freakout, and that's like, not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but still, there were some like decent points in that movie. In that film, for example, Anton Yelchin's performance as Kyle Reese, he did an amazing job, and it's a shame that we lost such a talent so soon. He's a damn fine actor. As someone keeps saying, why do we keep casting Sam Worthington in things? Stop it. I'm assuming that we've stopped because I have not seen him in anything, but I don't watch that many movies. So if they have, why?
Because screw us, that's why.
Yeah, the guy makes Jai Courtney look like freaking Christopher Reeve, man. That's sad.
Wow.
And you all know who Jai Courtney is.
Captain Boomerang.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mind him as Captain Boomerang, but everything else he's been in was, There's another person where it's like, why does Hollywood keep casting him? All right, because he's a good-looking generic white guy.
And
I said it.
Here's the thing: when they cast him as Kyle Reese for Genesis, now to be fair to Michael Biehn, he was reasonably athletically built for the part of playing a soldier, but let's call it for what it is. Jai Courtney looked like he was doing steroids. Because I'm sorry, man, like, you've got abs upon abs upon abs. Like, come on, not even Michael Biehn was that ripped. I don't know. Was that it, Liz, or do you have anything further to add?
Oh, no. But again, sorry. When it comes to the review, you did a good job. You gave some facts that I never knew about. Like, for example, Danny Elfman being the one doing the score. It's like, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was surprised by that. And other than that, it was informative. It gave some good points. It's like, again, I like Raiden. I like that you gave the positives before you fisted the negatives in. But still, other than that, you did a good job.
And you just sort of see me like looking disappointed on the couch. And now for the cons. Like you knew what was coming. And I didn't bother. Well, here's the thing. I thought about doing an introduction to this, but it was getting closer and closer at the time, and I couldn't be bothered to do one. So it's like, everyone knows I hate this movie. Let's just get straight into it. And Wynn's gonna see this later, you know, with Arnold making the creepy smile and teeth. It's like, MJ, why do you keep doing this to me?
Because it's funny.
Here's the thing, Wynn. My intent is not to purposely having sleepless nights. It's because it's what you know. Your avatar holding that sign up. That's something you would say. And Raiden holding up the sign. I was actually impressed with his reaction. It was like, worst couple ever, Kanye. Because like, oh god. Someone one of these days is gonna say, review Twilight. I'm like, that's gonna cost ya. And I'll hear like Lid saying, only will subscribe to you on Twitch for a year. Done deal. Wait, what? Like, I didn't agree to this. And then you whisper, yes, I will subscribe to him on Twitch for a year. It's like, good, honey, good. You're just doing that evil smile, and it's just like... And folks, I will not say what Lids will whisper to him. Use your own imagination. And Lids will probably use something darker and be like, oh, I have plans for you. Yes. Oh dear. Alright. Wynn will probably get... Well, Wynn is in the chat, but she's probably having similar sort of audio problems from last week. Well, it's not audio problems with regards to technical problems with the equipment. Not to get into too much of a IRL explanation, folks. There are things that happen in the background. Nothing bad, but it's just a lot of ambient and distracting noise. And her new kitty, Princess Zelda, would probably cause a few distractions. So that's why Wynn's not here. It's nothing major over the top. It's just distracting noise in the background, like cars going by, or maybe one of her nieces, yelling, because they're kids, is what they do. So, yeah, let's leave it at that. I know Raiden's been waiting patiently for this. Come on, dude. You know you want to do this. I did say directly after this, folks, so I'm living up to my word. Sweet Lord above.
Prepare for more hurts.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is.
Well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to go grab me another brewski. I'm going to need refreshment for cringing and laughing.
Bring back.
How many parts is there to this wretched thing?
Well, as long as this issue is done, who knows? As long as we get more cringe and more hilarity. I mean, the comedy is enough alone from these guys, but this whole comic is just like, Oh man.
Oh my god. Right. Alright. I'm at
Yeah,
zero.
sorry, my computer decided. Yeah, like you're done for the day. Click. Just shut off for no good reason.
Really?
Yeah, well, doesn't matter.
Alright.
I gotta sit through an ad first.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh, that's right. I was watching it earlier. All right, but there you go. I'm at 0.
Steven?
2 minutes in, anyway.
Yep, I'm in 0-0.
Raiden,
All right.
Raiden, I love you as a brother, but what the hell, man?
Oh God. All right, mind if I start it up?
Go ahead.
All righty. In 3, 2, 1.
Jack,
Oh, it's
I
terrorist.
apologize
is
for
that all
nothing.
you're having for
Play.
lunch?
It's all my mom packed me. Kidding. She picked nothing.
God, this guy's insane wicked jokes are just it's just
So
like one after
fucking
the
funny.
other. He's so hilarious. I
God.
see why everyone loves him.
I also like that we get to constantly learn about his broken family life.
Yeah,
'cause otherwise, I wouldn't have known.
I can't eat it all.
If I have more than 12 calories per day, I swell up like a balloon.
Oh my god.
So, what's up? Everyone's still talking about Harvey?
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't worry, I'll keep you safe.
Oh my
You so
God.
thick, it'll take 2 tranquilizer darts to knock you back
Oh my god.
I bet he could keep us safe.
Hey, B-Dub, join us!
Promise
my
we don't
God.
bite.
Promise we don't bite? Like, you want me to
E-dub!
promise you that you won't bite? Should there be a comma after promise?
I don't- Much? Who's this?
Bruce Wayne, Barbie Gordon. Barbie Gordon, Bruce Wayne. Billionaire kid, meet the
That's
Barbie
Barbara?
kid.
Wait,
Wow.
a non-interracial
Whoa, 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 that's Barbara
I guess
Gordon.
Why did they call orange now?
Blunt?
I mean, you can probably smell it
To
pretty
be
easily.
fair,
when
we
you
did
sniff
meet
it. Yeah,
Jim
that's
Gordon,
not
or
cool.
Principal
Hell yes.
Gordon, excuse me.
About that party the other night. What's up with all that cheating and
Sweating the rich kids? Oh, right.
Why are you
What?
sweating the rich kids? Huh?
Yeah, Jack, what's up with that?
Hey, I don't need to cheat. I'm good at cards.
Do you
Look,
always wear that
dude.
cat choker?
I didn't say you weren't.
But as for my other friends, bunch of
What's wrong with your
criminals.
You really
face?
look brooding, fucking vaping, honestly. Just put it
Yeah.
away.
And then when you're
Oh
like,
my
it's
God.
pancake flavor, I just...
I didn't think vaping could look
I-
weirder, but here we are.
Just,
So intimidating.
This
Why
flavor is
does it look
anarchy.
green?
and anarchy is pancakes today.
Don't
Tomorrow,
know,
who knows
I
what
think
it could
it's-
be? Strawberries?
It may or may
napkins?
not be
Who
weed,
knows?
but I don't know.
Marshmallow.
But hey, it's like
Is
Robin
it even
Hood.
possible
Rob
to
from the rich
vape
and give it to
weed?
the poor.
Right.
I mean, you have to
Kind
admit, we're
of.
pretty
It's like you can
impoverished.
use different
My
like
heart
patchouli
bleeds.
oils.
So, does that sort of thing go on all the time?
What, that party? You mean the card games?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Every weekend,
Okay,
just
Bruce,
moves
you're a little
around.
too
Let's
into
go.
that.
Where to? Where are we going?
Come on.
Oh my
let's
God!
Let's go.
Oh, where?
The school bell's about to
Where are we
ring. What do you mean,
going?
let's
We have geometry in 2 minutes.
You got it. Just don't take all my
Someone
money
send
this
to my
time,
brother,
okay?
like, sir.
Wow, he's so wicked funny. They were
So
right.
Bye, Bruce.
Bye, ladies.
Oh,
What am
what am
I?
I? Chop
Oh,
chop
no.
liver? Oh, he's so clever.
Oh my
hilarious.
god. He's like the where's my hug dude. Every situation.
Oh God,
Why do they
no!
like each other?
I don't know.
It hurts my brain.
That's
Love
all I,
that
that's
for
all I
black
can come up
pudding.
with. All the best parties are in decrepit warehouse buildings. The worse the location, the better the party.
Makes sense to
Just
me.
made that up.
This one, this one is even seedier than the last, if that's possible. And in Gotham City, anything's possible.
Where's Jason
Then why did
Voorhees when you need him?
Players only. Welcome to the greatest game in Gotham. Watch out for the hotties.
Got it.
Why you do this all the time? That's fucking weird.
Sexually repressed, goddammit.
Ante up, boys.
Feeling good?
Oh, wait.
What
Just
about
think
now?
my dead parents.
Maybe not so much.
Maybe you're chicken.
Hey, give a friend a break. 4 jacks!
Oh, Jax!
Like next time, ladies. I'm just really good at cards.
I think at first, Bruce thought Harvey's kidnapping had to do with gambling debts. That maybe he owed money to some unsavory people.
Hey, did you guys ever play with a kid named Harvey?
The kid who got kidnapped?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
No, a different Harvey.
Yeah.
But the thing about theories is that's
Harvey
all they
Kinkle.
are.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. No, never. He didn't play. Not like you. Oh, it looks like the Helga chick from Atlantis.
Wow.
No, not really.
And no, we're not going into that.
Break my fingers.
Looks like a petrified
Oh.
tree.
Fouled.
Casa Wayne in the house. There's no
Sorry,
such
what?
thing as luck. Right, Jack?
Cheers to that.
Glug, glug, glug.
Come on, this is
Oh, God,
boring.
this hurts
Let's see what
my
else
brain.
is going on.
You know how they say dance like nobody's watching? Well, that's bullshit.
What?
I dance like everyone's watching. Always.
Oh, she's so
This is a
different.
Oh,
16-year-old,
what?
by the way.
Yep. Now the three of them are kind of dancing together. That's
I'm
not,
just waiting for her to
yeah,
say,
that's not
"Go to
great.
my OnlyFans
I need some
page."
fresh air.
No,
Wanna get out of
God.
here?
No,
please,
no.
no.
None of that.
My gay uncle owns this building. Or
Oh my
technically-
god, her face!
My God, what?
The perks of
These
being
guys do
super
not
rich.
give a shit.
Oh shit, this is me again. Sorry.
I
Sorry.
got distracted by the beautiful city skyline.
Yeah, by like the 80s fighting game backdrop.
I like
Yeah.
that the bridge just looks like it's not connecting to any of
It
this.
is the bridge, but it just is in the middle.
That bridge is really high up, considering. I guess you have to like drive up a fucking hill before you get to the bridge.
And then be lifted onto the crane.
Sorry, it
Oh,
must
God,
suck when
no.
people only talk about money. Let's talk about something else.
We don't have to talk at all. We can just.
No.
Come on! I missed God, and I love the city at night.
Oh, they go to
look
the
at this.
carnival. Oh, pizza with like little,
Square pepperoni.
yeah, little pieces of construction paper.
We're jumping into fountains. We're eating pizza. Sharing a
Is that
milkshake.
nachos on the pizza?
But
So
all,
enjoyable.
but all
When the
good
right
things
one
come
comes
to an
wreck it
end.
once
Damn
and
it.
Crooked that car is.
Hey, thanks. That was fun.
Well, you said you needed fresh air, so.
What do you know about what I
That's
need?
supposed to be a
By the way,
Porsche.
everyone, this is a just a slight reminder to bring us back on course here. This is a Batman comic.
Yeah.
They're in
high
school, goddammit.
Click. Bzz, bzz. Oh, that's probably Jack wondering where I am, and then oh shit, he takes a sample of her hair when she's not
Yeah.
looking.
That's creepy.
Fucking hell, he took a razor blade to it.
Oh.
Chill out, dude. Like, I know you cut it, but jeez.
I'm sorry.
I'm a
man,
little
that-
confused
that's
as to
fucked
what's
up.
happening.
Oh, bro.
She thinks he's gonna kiss him, but he's actually opening the door. She's like, oh fuck. And then her phone goes off, and while she's looking at the phone, he's like, man, takes her head.
Oh,
Wait, when
Uh,
did
alright.
skeleton get here?
What is going on with that wheel?
why is she getting
Which-
that?
Which one are we
don't
talking?
Oh,
God, no.
Wait, Bruce has the
This is
message
that
too. It's like the Batwoman episode where everybody gets the message. Steal this lady's body parts. Mom, just pay them, please. Get the money somehow.
I should
Ah.
go. Good night, Bruce.
God.
And he's still yelling
Oh.
from the phone.
Mom, please, please.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Figured. What games you playing, Miss Kyle?
Billiards.
Oh, got an ad.
Dude, what the fuck? I gotta add two.
More flavor.
Same
What
here.
are you at?
Right, I'm at 7:30.
I'm at 7:30 as well.
Okay. 7:30.
Same here.
3, 2, 1. Resume.
Why is he called Master Wayne when that's his fucking nephew?
Because
Master Wayne.
Batman.
It is. It's an absurdly formal term as well for someone this new Alfred to use.
Master Wayne, breakfast is ready.
Wow,
Breaking
that's not
news: kidnappers
racist.
released Dent Boy. Reports are in the exchange happened late last night, and Harvey Dent is now in the hospital. They report he is in stable condition. It's like lagging.
They wanted me, Uncle. His family is destroyed because of me.
You didn't kidnap the boy. Don't feel guilty for something you didn't do.
Martha.
He just casually drinks orange juice while he's
Why
up
did you
here
say that
agonizing about
name?
someone's kidnapping.
How come Harvey is a Mexican now with a mustache? He was a white blonde kid in the other pages.
Wait, who has a mustache?
Harvey. See, he's got a mustache and he looks Hispanic now.
I think that's just an error.
Oh, it's definitely an error. I know
I
he didn't
think
turn
it's
into
an
a
error. What
completely
the
different
fuck?
person.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm pointing
Add
out.
that to the
But
however
Bruce
many
without
errors we
guilt
already have
is
in
like
this
peanut
comic.
butter without jelly, or Gotham without crime.
Which I
is
think
more
at this
like
point
it.
is
Hey, man.
over
You're
10.
back. You all right? What happened?
Isn't it obvious? Get away from me, Mr. Billionaire. Here's your stupid jacket back. They let me keep it.
It's not stupid. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for. I didn't know.
Didn't know what? What to do with all your money? You think my life is so... That's you?
Right.
Oh, God.
You think my life is easy just because I have loads and loads and loads of money? You're right. Keep it.
Thanks, I guess?
It's not a gift!
You just gave it to me, though. We
Why
were
are
standing
you
right here a
yelling?
second. Surely you remember. I am not a white blonde-headed kid. I'm a different person. Are you sure?
I was gonna say, you do look a bit weirder.
Harvey's back, not quite unharmed, but the police still don't know who
But his
took
front
him
was
or
fucked
why.
up, man.
They don't know who took him or why, which doesn't sit well with our hero. Oh, Bruce, why do you have to care so much? Why couldn't you just let it be?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wait, Bruce is the hero?
Yeah.
So he's 16 or 17,
Since when
and he's
did
sitting around
Selena
drinking
become
alcohol
self-aware?
and mansion and driving sports
And how
cars,
in
and
this
he's
story
like,
has
that's,
Bruce
I guess, is
proved
what
to be a hero?
really gets me about Bruce Wayne here. He's so
And,
relatable. Like
He got
none of the
knocked
characters.
out.
Says
He's
treatment,
done dealing
as
with
there is no
criminals. He went to a
antidote for
drug den. What the fuck is going
Dalsemium
on?
Poisoning. Treatment consists of the
The
prompt
only heroic thing
evacuation
he
of the
did was
stomach
beat up a bunch
by
of bullies in
and
school.
something by
Other
the
than
early
that,
minute. So basically, I
nothing.
throw it up or I
And
die.
even that's a bit of a
Give me,
stretch.
Selena. You're a part of this, aren't you? What do you want from me?
Wait, but didn't they inject it into,
God,
into
no.
the blood?
Yeah, you got to throw it up after you get injected.
How? They injected into his ankle.
No, I went into his
Yeah.
stomach. through the
No,
needle.
that's where Chinese people have their second stomach, is in the
Oh, no, my bad.
That makes
Sorry.
sense.
Go to bed, nephew. School night.
Yes,
Nice
Gale.
Wayne to you.
What are you working on? Still
Yes,
defend
gay
this?
uncle.
The boy's been returned. Why are you
Too
still
bad.
worried about it?
Yeah, he's back. But broken. And his family's been destroyed. I know what that's like.
I'm sorry, how has his family been destroyed?
Shut up.
I feel like
Shut
I'm
up,
missing
Uncle
details.
Gay
Did you know
Uncle
that this
Alfred.
glass is more glass than liquid?
Oh my god. How do you fuck that up?
It's very heavy, and that's why it was very expensive.
It looks like one of those baby bottles with like fake liquid in it.
Yeah, so the wax ones where you bite off the top. I melted down a baby bottle pop. You remember those?
Oh,
It
God,
wasn't your
no.
fault, son. I mean, Master Wayne. I mean, I don't know what to call you. You mustn't blame yourself.
I never want anyone to go through what I went through. If I can stop it, why don't you talk it before they take anyone
Oh,
else?
yeah.
Really behind it. A lot of rich people in Gotham.
Including you.
Especially me.
Well,
Which is
calm
why I'm
down.
going to have a party. I'm going to invite
Okay.
everyone at Gotham High.
What?
Whoever took Harvey was working with the high school kids. They wanted me first time, so I'll give them another shot. And the party has to be this weekend, so I don't have much time. Can you get these antidotes for me?
I'm not sure I approve of this. Sounds like you're going a bit vigilante to me.
Oh.
Oh, gee.
But let me
No.
Yeah.
ammonia, a digitalis. I once dated a man, digitalis. Yeah, that's a heart medicine. I'll see what I can do. But what do you need?
That's a heart medicine.
Insurance.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Notice that my
Promise
wine
to
turned
put-
to
What
ink.
the
I promised to
fuck?
put all the Ming vases in storage to cover all the furniture.
Just because we're Chinese doesn't mean all our vases are mean vases.
You fucking
God,
racist.
Put
no.
down your fortune cookie. I still haven't said yes to this party. What about all the noise?
When was the last time you got out of the house?
I just came back from Hong
Depends,
Kong, you fucking
honestly.
asshole.
Yeah, I was in another country. I was on the other side of the planet. How come you're taller than me?
You were tiny like a few panels ago.
I always love being served alcoholic beverages by minors. Also, I suppose I could always use a night at the Ritz.
Bruce
Bash.
Bash. 9 p.m.
Bruce
Saturday
Bash.
night. Dress to access your individual gate code.
There's a fucking QR code with a W.
You are gone.
I got my invite. It showed up on my phone and everything.
Like I would just
Why?
dress up, there's like no one goes in there casually.
How are we supposed to know
I
who
mean, that's
saying that other
Gotham
thing? Oh, is
High,
it? Oh my
that
god.
they
That's
have
my man,
have
Bruce.
the-
Actually,
have
no,
those
he's
toast
Robin.
things. Like, what?
Selena, can you believe this party? I mean, I knew Bruce was rich, but this
Like,
is
yeah, I'm confused now.
This was sick. Like I don't know, like some kind of Chinese virus or something.
Oh my
Speaking of,
god.
have you
Oh,
seen?
You have to try this. It's incredible. Good, right? It's so good, right?
So good.
Shut up, I'm Trent. Oh, this is
Jack.
metal again. Yeah. God, that's not creepy.
Oh, sorry, I'm chewing.
I'm chewing.
High concept dialogue.
Hey, miss me? What's up, George?
What did Oni do?
No, you're not.
Oh god, no!
Georges.
Playing a
What's up,
game,
Georges?
naming all the states: Indiana, Maine, New York, California, Arkansas.
Wait, so is the one on the left first in the panel?
Yes.
or the
Oh,
one on
they
the
got
bottom
really
right?
lazy in that panel, didn't they?
Been here long?
Oh, wait, that's that.
So many ways.
Oh my
that you get to.
Damn it, I was about to post that as well. I was fucking DJ.
Been here long?
Nope. We all know the party doesn't start till I'm here. Come on, let's dance.
When you're the host with the most, you dress in your sweats. Believe me, I've been to enough parties to notice. After all, talk about $1 billion view. But something always
God, what is up with that
picture, doesn't it?
Well, like, what are you doing on the balcony then? It's just, what did you do? Just stand there in the middle of the room alone until you show up?
Yes,
The
I'm worried
night
about
was-
you.
One-
Will you tell me
spend
what's
the night
going
with
on?
her, and then you just yell. Okay, I got that.
Foxy. The mobile network.
Not again.
Yeah,
1437.
Alright.
to go a little bit back.
Alright,
Same
same
here.
here, 1437.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, resume.
Guess not.
Oh, yeah. Oh wow, Bruce like immediately got down there, grabbed Poison Ivy, and just started playing with her in front of Selena.
I forgot. They made Ivy
You know,
Korean.
this isn't at all incredibly childishly done teen drama. No. sir.
Nope.
What the fuck?
Excuse you, bud.
That was supposed to be me.
Oh,
That's
hey,
something
guys,
out of the
did you know
CW, and that's saying something.
Wow.
Pleasure. Napier at your service.
Back!
You were kind of
CW has more
gangster.
common sense!
The
Which
Apothe-
show in
Carrot,
CW?
whatever
That's
the
the
fuck,
question.
The shop, whatever.
Riverdale.
I wish she said
Apothecary.
that.
Don't get me started on Riverdale messed up timeline.
I can attest, it's back to first season.
Just the guy I've been looking for.
You were looking for Jack?
I got tables.
Could be
set up
much
back.
worse though.
One in.
My man, lead me to it.
What if the authorities learn that there's underage
What, another
gambling at this
season, what, another season of Arrow?
Christmases?
No.
Guys always think they have the most
2
fun.
words.
Because we do.
There's an insane dessert buffet.
How
Wanna
a
hit
pup
it? But
go?
chicks with candy can't.
Oh
be beat.
God!
My kind of party.
I forgot
Let's never
that
let
would
it
be
go.
the
Look at her eyes.
Oh,
Eyes, dude. Holy shit.
that's the
Oh my God!
How can they get away with
Look at the
drawing their
eyes.
eyes like that?
Oh,
Wow.
no.
No!
Look, I get it. You made a career, but God damn!
Never let a guy
What
get
were
in
they
the
on
way
when they
of a
were when they
good
were
girl
drawing
crush.
this?
Like, I'll
Oh my!
What is this party?
What the hell?
What is this?
They have
Just
to
look
give
at their
her
eyes.
dancers. What the fuck?
They can't hear you over the fucking helicopter.
Happening!
Yeah, people never realize how loud
I
helicopters are.
I
don't
spent all my money on
know.
this feast. I've got an
Where
empty
are the
tray,
secret ice swimmers at this
potatoes, and a
party?
turkey.
It's just a full turkey. No one touched it.
Just a full turkey.
That's the best part of the meal.
Mostly, it's just table dressing that looks like flowers. Man, that's so lazy. You'd think
Also,
you'd
what
draw
is
like
that
a
girl on the
feast,
right
you know? But it looks
wearing?
the table looks empty. There's no food on anybody's plates, and there's
Why did
only,
they
like,
draw so
3
many
things.
rose heads?
I eat pieces of paper with food on it, not actual food.
Look at the background.
Creepy.
I mean, I have questions. Like,
So do I.
What are they even trying to translate? Like, what?
And then the
You have a
mansion in the
helicopter?
back looks super small now.
Looks like a barn.
Barn.
What the fuck?
Yeah. A barn with a really big pool and a helicopter.
That's why they said he was in stable condition.
Oh.
What? You really spend on this
Oh, this
party,
hurts
didn't
my
you?
brain. Why?
Stop doing
Bad
that.
Steve
Why?
should've
You want to
said
paint a
it. No
target on
offense,
your
Dave.
forehead or something?
None taken.
Well, the face painter's right over there then. Paint them, you idiot.
Usually,
Not
I'm-
sure what you...
That pun would get you triple digits on Oni's string.
Not sure what kind of game you're playing here,
Both of-
B-dub.
That's why I gave
Both
him
of-
20
There's a lot of
But there
skeevy
are-
guys.
There are
There are
lots of
skeevy guys heists out tonight, and I should know because I know them all.
It'll be okay, trust me.
Aw, shit. I've always wanted to try this game. Let's play
What
this
is up with
instead.
that? What?
Sure, why not? Hey, you and Selena are a thing, right?
Grandma
Not
just
really.
broke my
I
brain.
mean, you know, we hook up here and there. We're friends with, but
Didn't he have a
I mean,
script
she's
writer
an
to
Arcadia
check
Park
over for
princess, and
spelling
I'm
errors?
from nowhere.
Where's the
I'm
script
nothing.
supervisor for
No
this
one.
thing?
Oh, look, it's
Oh, is it-
Batman beating up Joker.
Is that Rick
Yeah.
Sanchez?
I was gonna say it looks more like Rick Sanchez, actually. You're not
Hey,
mad.
Looks like a
fine.
combination
You're
of
a good guy.
Looks like a combination of
You're
Puffy
alright,
the Clown and
B-Dub.
Rick
You're
Sanchez.
alright.
Maybe Bruce is playing a game as well.
I mean, they've had script
And I don't
problems
mean
since issue
Fortnite.
1.
Oh.
Well, it exists.
We look for
How
it's
did-
so
how
subtle
did it-
because Bruce is playing the Caped
Oh, we
Crusader
just
in
don't.
black,
No,
and
don't make a
Joker is
Fortnite
playing the
reference.
Rick
Stop it.
Sanchez.
Also,
Well, in
Bruce
Fortnite,
is
they
clearly
don't
cheating
talk
because,
anyway.
Joker still has life left in his bar.
The Rick
Well, according
Beat him
Sanchez.
140,000.
According to the comics, anyway.
But that's not even. That doesn't
And
make
yes,
sense
they've
because
done
this is 1 in
Batman
5,
Fortnite
like as if he
comics.
won a round.
Don't ask.
Apparently,
I'd love to be the
Joker,
fly on the wall.
but he only got
Listen,
160
that
points.
one, that 160 was the 160 that counted. Okay, even though Bruce got 140.
That was the only round Bruce got 0 points.
I mean,
That's why he
here's the
won.
thing.
Bruce literally,
I'm all for
his
trying.
controller turned off.
Fresh
Not fair.
ideas
You're hard to
or,
beat.
like,
You just need
prequels,
practice.
alternate ideas,
Shut
but
I'm best at
This is
everything because I'm Bruce Wayne,
bullshit.
don't you know?
Let's go another round. Give me a chance
Well,
to speak here.
consider
One sec.
considering
I just need to see if
the
you're ready for
writer
that.
did a book about how
What? Yeah, 1 hour.
well, where the
Is
main
the
characters
game
cared about
follow
how
the
much
leader
followers
or
they
pin
got
the tail on
on
the
social
donkey?
media and whatnot.
Looks like. Looks like Bruce lost his playmates. Silly me.
Excuse me,
the
but
game
if
is
I'm
hiding.
ever if I ever
Fuck is this?
get my comic book
Oh,
around, I'm
more
not gonna
kids
go into that
vaping.
stuff.
Oh,
My
look, they're all on their
page
phone.
That is not.
It's
It's
apparently not loaded.
You know,
to quote
it's
random.
really.
That's not
I guess it's
essential
really good
stuff.
that there's a way to text everybody, all people. No one has even mentioned that that's a thing. Like that's a normal thing that happens all the time. You can just text
Yeah.
everybody.
Also, everybody's checking his phone, except the two in the bag who's still playing with the beach ball. Very weird looking beach ball that's not very round.
No, they're praising it. That is their god.
Oh.
They're worshiping it.
Uh,
hail
Where's the Zorro when you need him?
All hail the Bruce Beach Ball.
Ransom 5
Zorro here.
Double dollars.
Well, at least they tagged her in the picture, so that's nice.
At Selena Kyle, so that she knows that she's been kidnapped. They
gonna-
tagged her
Gonna get some mad
for
follows.
crimes against
Hey, what?
fashion.
Did you see this?
Secure the gates now and get her out.
It's delayed. They've already taken
Think
her.
so?
We've got to call the police.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say,
how is it- how
why,
is
why
it
would
established
securing
during
your
the-
house's gates prevent Selena?
Yeah,
Kyle
I
from
forgot.
being-
I forgot
already
about that.
captured?
How they determine
Maybe because
that
I
she's been
think
removed?
Because it's on the phone, right?
No, just that
Liz
she's
had
been
a
kidnapped
very
and the ransom's 5 million. We had no idea where
bad
they are.
reaction to
hell?
her name
Mom, can you
reveal.
pick me up? I'm scared. Oh my god, that's a fucking Mean Girls reference. That's terrible.
Oh,
Hey, look at his
oh,
hair.
Mean
What the
Girls.
fuck?
Whoever
Yeah,
took her was at the party.
I hit up the usual
Oh my
princess,
god,
see
they
if
did a
anyone
Mean
knows
Girls
anything.
reference here.
I'll talk to the police.
I'm
How
See if they
many-
found out. And Jack.
I mean,
She'll be alright.
Fortnite,
I don't
Rick
know
and
about
Morty,
that.
Mean
Her family
Girls. How
can't
many
cover
references are they
that
trying to throw
either.
out in this
If anything
issue?
happens to
Whatever
her,
you do,
you're Bruce
don't tell
Wayne?
Raiden
Is
that
there
this
an
is
adult
very
around?
fetch.
Sir, a friend of mine has been
Oh, God.
kidnapped.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
There's
It's
the
not
bar
going to
in the
happen.
back, and these kids are obviously underage. Who's in charge here?
Well, they made Ratchet
Oh,
happen,
I
so you know
called it.
what that means.
I am Alfred Dean Pennyworth.
Dean?
That's why I'm Chinese. And this is my husband, John
I thought it was
Pennyworth.
Alfred
His
J.
fucking husband is
Pennyworth.
dressed like a 1930s filmmaker.
Hey, wait,
he's obviously
Ah.
not
I'm
Chinese.
married and super gay.
Are you aware liquor
What
was
the
served at
fuck?
this party?
Absolutely no liquor was served to any minor. I can assure you. Let me handle this. I saw the security feed. Maybe you've heard of my sister, Martha Wayne. Enjoy the swag.
What kind of cut is that? He got them all drunk, I guess? Okay.
Give them both a blowjob and some money.
Swag.
That's Gotham for you. The cops can
Who
always.
says that
Although
nowadays?
you didn't lie, there wasn't any alcohol at the
What
party.
the-
Except what we just gave them, of course.
Pity. I was saving that crystal for a special occasion.
The police are no help as usual. They never
That's
solved
because I
Harvey's
bribed
case.
them.
And now
I bribed
Selena's
them.
been kidnapped. I was supposed to be the target.
How have you established this information? Like seriously, how have you reached this conclusion?
Everything's
Master
about
Wayne.
you.
Everything is my fault.
Yes. Like how?
How do you know?
do they
You were the
how do
target
they try
for
and
this.
target you, but fuck up and kidnap a
You
little
did
girl
this
instead?
yourself, so I don't know why you bitching about
Like,
this.
how,
Emotional distraught mess.
what-
Raiden, let's go
Well,
out
it's a
and
good thing
Batman
you
each
can't
other.
help
Boy!
Wait a minute, what?
Part 3. Behind The mask.
What mask?
The mask of Xing Fong.
Wow.
Look at the way Joker walks. What the fuck?
Oh God, no! Why?
I am not touching that with a 10-foot
Jack, where's
No!
everyone? There was something big going down at
I'm
Wayne
not going
Manor.
within a
Dumbass,
10-mile
that was
radius
just at
of
Wayne
that.
Manor.
10
I
mile
could
radius,
have
I'm not
possibly
going a
known that,
universe
Jack.
near.
Calm the fuck down.
Like, hey,
Well,
man,
sadly,
what went
Rick
down at Wayne
stole
Manor?
my
I was
portal
there.
gun.
But you understand it's statistically
damn it, I
unlikely
thought it was
that
Morty
you're at
putting
any
more-
given place at
Or a
any time.
liquid
Like,
ecto cooler inside my portal
Get
gun.
Bruce, it does look
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
man. Dial
That was,
it.
the most detective work he did.
I've never
Bruce.
forgiven this city for what it did to your parents. They must have all been on it. Everyone in the city knew it was going to happen. It was a conspiracy. I'm not sure what game you're playing, nephew. So take care.
What sort of game is
Don't
a
worry,
nephew
Uncle.
mask?
I only play to
You
win.
are fucking 17 years old.
But I only
Yeah,
play
if it's
to
a
win.
if it's a
So,
game, just
how'd
be
you
glad
get
they're
the
not playing
virus onto
Thor.
everyone's phone exactly.
Easy.
Here's a
Quantum
thing.
How about playing-
mechanics. Just accept
How
the
about playing
phone
52
request.
pickup?
Got a party invite.
Here's the thing
Did it
about
work?
Bruce.
Perfect.
Any
Each
age,
SQR code inserted in a location device.
driven and focused.
Virus. I
I
can
got
track.
motherfucker.
Fuck it, it just makes sense. Trust me.
What the
I'm
fuck?
sorry. Could
Any
you walk me through-
incarnation, the
how
guy
do you
is
have time for all
driven
of
to do
this?
whatever it takes.
I'm
Like-
to
Batman.
Also, I think
Oh,
I'm an
problem.
alcoholic. I'm drinking again.
Hey,
I'm always
shit,
drinking. I've never
determination.
seen I was drinking. I was shocked
Wait,
I wasn't
I mean,
drinking at the hospital.
shit.
Selena Kyle.
What I did respect what
Could be,
Shroom did was
could be
how
Selena
Babel
Kylo.
didn't do.
All right, well,
didn't do
you
was-
have fun in your adventure.
Hopefully
Make sure you don't get
admitted
shot in the
that
neck with a
he
shot.
made, he made, he
seconds
made
later.
plans to leave, not buy it though.
Damn, next up is literally Tuesday. Wow.
Oh, damn it!
Whatever you do.
Don't get shot in the
Oh,
neck.
man.
I'm shaking down everyone. No one's
What
talking.
the crap?
Well, I've got a lead on
I
that.
don't
Well, I'll
know.
come to you.
Over by.
That's a stupid thing. Bruce? Bruce, where are you?
Right
fucking
where
hate
we want you.
Wait,
You
how
did
do
get
they
shot
know?
by a dart
that
again,
they-
But yeah.
And then told
Wait,
him.
since
where
when did
we
Gary
were,
Oak
right?
appear in
'Cause that was a
I
tech-
am
Batman
Oh,
so on
comic?
the edge of my
wow,
seat.
that's
Who knows
so
what's going to
bad.
happen?
Oh, don't
I'm on
bring
the edge of my
it in.
seat because I want to leave.
Looks like we got him good.
Time up like her.
Nah, no D. What? Shit. Nah.
Shit.
Light him up. Is there something you'd like to tell us?
Nah, no need. He's out cold.
Dude, what the fuck is up with your head? Your head is just 3 spikes.
It's like a fucking demon.
It's like a dinosaur foot.
What are they trying to translate?
It reminds me of,
What is
It
that?
reminds me of
Well,
almost,
remember how in the last panel he had 4 spikes in
almost
his
any
hair?
character in any
Now I was
Yu-Gi-Oh
He
anime.
looks a
Now he
little
has-
better in the previous
You got
one.
spiky hair.
3
Why?
spikes now. Also, his head's
No
gone.
face.
He's trying to be
Hey,
enemy.
Head over here was helping me capture the Wayne kid.
Let's get out of
Cobra,
here.
stop
I'm
bringing out the
starving.
blue-eyed
Won't
white
the
dragon.
boss mind?
I won't tell if you won't.
Ever.
Clang.
Break out the braided slandering card.
Hello? Who are you? Don't
No.
touch me.
Thank God you're
It's-
wearing that so I could see you in the dark.
It's me. Want to get out of here?
I feel like these ropes are not secured to my claw hands very well.
The day after a party is always depressing. So many.
I
things to
did it,
clean
you
up, so many
Oh,
fucking
we
tie
escaped.
him up.
Yeah,
I know
they
he
did.
was
They
out
just got out
cold.
because they wanted to have lunch. They didn't lock
How
up.
did they know he was even out cold to
All
begin
right.
with?
Well,
Ah,
Didn't tell the cops none of that shit.
written. Oh, all right then. Proceed.
So many people.
That's fun. Good night,
apologize to you
everybody.
for what you said when you were drunk or high or out of control, but in this case, none of that matters, of course.
You need to call police. Let them know you're safe.
Why didn't they just get the fingerprints from the door? They're captors.
Why wouldn't they have gone to the police immediately?
Imagine telling this to the police. They
They're trying to
kidnapped
find
us,
sense in
yes,
a comic
but they
that's
put us
full
in a
of
room and they
nonsensical
left,
bullshit.
and we just left.
That-
And then
sounds
they're
like-
so they kidnapped
Oh,
you both.
the-
They
Not even
tranquilized
comic
you in the
book
neck with the
logic
dart.
could
You really
explain
shouldn't have
this.
done that, by the way.
So
And then they
everything
threw
like
you
a
into
Monday Night
room,
Raw.
said they were gonna have lunch,
Monday Night
left
Ah,
you both
that makes
unsupervised and the door
Really,
unlocked,
really
and
bad
then you both
impact
just
combined
left.
with
Yeah, one of
everything
had 4
that Amiga
spikes on
about
his head, and
AEW.
sometimes
Yes.
only 3. It was crazy.
Yes,
Look, that's
officer.
a lot.
pretty much.
Okay.
And my
Why
dad,
go a
or
good look at the
really
young
his
bucks?
nurse and
I
the
didn't realize they
lawyers.
were taking
Don't worry
fashion
about
cues
any
from
of that. I'll take care
1994
of it.
Shawn Michaels.
You two rest up and eat.
Yeah,
It probably won't be something insanely
but they're
stereotypical
in their
Chinese.
Uber
I
skill mode, so aside from the and all that shit, they're just It's their way of they sold out.
Starving.
Oh,
Your
Gucci
uncle
this,
is
Gucci
cool.
that.
You're so
Having
lucky.
bad haircut. Very bad haircut.
Yeah, he's pretty gay.
You know.
Sometimes he gets caught up in managing my trust fund, though.
Look at her. Look at her fucking face.
He's focused on the dumpling. That's questionable.
Put in a belt
Also, I wonder if Jack is still out there searching for Selena. It's like, hey, where
Yeah,
are you?
well,
Bruce!
Look, yeah, my uncle's all right. I'm kind of wishing I didn't give that guy my fucking leather coat. I kind of miss it.
Wow, you have no idea what it's like for everyone else, do you? To worry about money?
to worry about money? Didn't your mom leave you a trust?
Sort of. Except I don't get it till I'm 21.
Oh, you poor fucking thing. Oh, that must be rough. I won't be filthy rich till I'm 21. Oh, man. Oh, the agony.
I can't even use it to move my dad to a place that can really take care of him. The kidnappers are so stupid. I don't know why they took me.
Doesn't matter. You're safe now.
Oh no.
You'll protect me!
Ah!
You'll protect me!
Yeah,
I hate it when they do that.
I'm sorry, what?
Kill that with fire.
No one's going to bother you.
I'm sorry, I can't help but
Nah,
feel like they
fire
put the
won't do
woman's
it.
face on me and the man's
Use
face
plasma.
Thanks for coming after
Oh,
me.
he's so
You're
cool
like a
wearing all black.
superhero or
All
something.
black city. All black pants.
Well,
Oh, I feel so bad for you. Let
Don't
me
even
play
worry
you a
about it.
song of my
I would
world's
have done
smallest
it to
violin.
anyone. I don't even like you. Wait!
I'm sure
I
I
lied. I did it because it was you. I remembered you. I remembered everything.
Oh yeah, this is all you.
Oh, you forgot your
reminiscing.
childhood?
Wait, what is this?
Flashback.
How do you forget your
Oh,
childhood?
am I blue and you're gray? Is that how this works?
Yeah, I think.
Well, even though we have a precedent of her referring to herself as the girl next door, I don't think she would do it like to him
Oh my god.
in conversation.
Way to rip
I
off
assume the
Eddie
blue is
Cooper.
Bruce.
I think
Yeah.
the blue is here.
No, the white is her, because I'm looking at the dialogue
Oh my-
further down,
Oh.
and yeah.
No, but you asked me to marry you. Yeah. So, blue is Bruce.
Okay.
I mean,
The
it could be
girl
either
next-
way. It would work either way. It would fit in with the rest of the comic either way.
This is so fucking bad.
We're giving this
Nothing
way more
fits in with
thought
this
than
comic.
trying
Doesn't
to
make
decipher
sense.
This
what
comic does
exactly
not
they're
fit in
doing.
with existence.
The girl next door.
You were my best friend.
And you were mine.
You you asked me to marry you.
You said yes.
Wait, what's this picture of the women?
The fuck?
I don't know.
That's the mom?
Yes,
Oh,
they're
that's-
moms.
They're both moms.
Is that supposed to
They're
be her
dead
mother?
moms.
Yeah, they're dead
Maybe.
moms.
Okay.
Remember how our dead parents used to enjoy each other's company?
I got all your emails. After the funeral, I read them all. I'm sorry I never replied, especially when your mom died. I was too broken.
I was too heartbroken when my mom died in that tub.
But I'm here now. I missed you, my old friend.
I missed you more, but
Have you changed your mind?
maybe. Why didn't you find out?
She is
here we
playing
go.
both sides. Damn.
You think that of her two love interests, she might side with the incredibly handsome, super talented billionaire?
Bruce,
Will you
never
show
heard
us on
from you.
screen?
Hit
Yeah,
me
yes.
up, let me know where you are. Police say they found Selena.
And then he sees inside their window fucking.
He's just
Oh.
walking past their house, he looks, and he sees
If only
them
you
fucking.
knew.
Yeah.
Oh, but he doesn't know it's Selena because he says,
Yeah,
"Good
look
for
what he
you."
says.
Oh, it's, oh,
Get it.
Beat it up. Get it. I heard Selena's okay. Can you tell
Oh
her I'm
no,
here?
dude,
She's
don't tell me they're
happy
pulling a
she
Tommy
didn't come
Merlin
home
here.
last
No.
night.
Stop
Alfred
it.
said
oh,
taking
they're
care
caught
of
up.
her.
They're
Alfred?
caught up. Oh my god.
Not cool, man.
Supposed to be Alfred?
Uh-oh.
Oh my god, that person that looked like Selena who was fucking Bruce?
Oh,
That was
no.
Selena?
I like how it's supposed to say Gotham Post Selena survives, but it looks like Gotham Post Selena.
Oh my
So
god.
I guess fuck the fact that Bruce was kidnapped, but I guess no one never knew because he never told the police.
Yeah, nobody would have ever found out.
Yeah.
It was exactly what Bruce would have
Again.
wanted anyway.
Who's the
Yeah,
artist
I guess he's
responsible?
like, surely you wouldn't have been kidnapped, drugged again,
Again.
The same
right?
guy who made that abomination.
That would be
that,
so
Captain
stupid.
America
Wow, that's
style, that was
crazy.
considered,
She rescued
you know,
herself.
masterpiece,
Go
but
girl.
like
Go
something's
girl.
worse than a
Miss
6-year-old
Kyle
would
isn't
do.
here right now.
Where's
Yeah.
she? You tell us about her. What does she
Nice.
call herself?
My five looks like a gun.
What?
Captain America with the
No
massive
comment.
chest.
She's safe, just like the
Yeah.
papers say. That's all you need to
Oh
know.
yeah.
That's not no comment.
No
Yeah.
comment,
Yeah.
but
That was
Just in case, here's a
90
comment. What's a
Marvel.
barcode on her hand?
Where's
Michael.
the 90s Marvel?
What the?
Oh Jesus.
Self checkout.
Message about the
Why?
commercialization of women,
Why is
modern
that?
society.
Why does the hand look like a zombie? And
Oh my god, that is so
And
deep.
here's the
I
season.
know.
It's a lie. I should have told them you did it. It was all you.
No, it's safer this way. We
What?
still don't know who took you or why.
Alfred
What
burst in
the
and like,
fuck?
you say these things, but I have no idea. Why?
Why is
I never
Alfred
said thank you.
photobombing?
Oh shit! They ripped
And
off
they had to
Batman
be quiet.
Begins.
I never said thank you.
because they had to show how ridiculous it's getting.
Well, got an ad.
We didn't have to.
Oh Jesus! Stop. Oh fine. No thanks
Another
to
ad?
you then. I should
Yeah.
go. My dad.
All right,
Got
hang
one
on,
too.
hang on.
And on
Where are you at?
3309.
3309. Okay, let me. Okay.
I got 3309.
Yeah.
Yep, 3309.
Hold on, it's because I had to. All right, I'm 3310, but
It's fine. 3,
close enough.
2, 1. Resume.
Begins.
I never said thank you.
I do like that scene.
You didn't have to.
Oh Jesus! Stop.
It's basically
Oh
his way of
fine.
saying, "I'm
No
not
thanks
doing
to
this
you
for the
then.
praise,
I
I'm just
should
doing it
go.
'cause
My
it's
dad
right."
might not remember who I
Yep.
am, but I should be with him.
Do what you have to do.
I mean, I did
See you around, I guess.
Yeah. See ya.
Why so distant all of a
Oh
sudden?
my
What's
God.
up?
Hey,
Well,
Whoopi,
you
and you
nutted.
now you just did
Look at that
shit.
memory. They've tried to distort it a little bit. It's like, it just looks as goofy as normal anyway.
Now that we've fucked, I just can't help but think of that time that Jack and I were playing Caped Crusader at the party.
Oh,
Can't
Jesus.
get it out of my mind. I creamed him almost as good as I creamed you.
Oh my god! No, no.
Wrong for so many reasons.
Oh, she's 16.
You love her?
Yeah.
So, you and Jack?
It's complicated.
Especially because I'm
I
Chinese.
thought it was something
now.
you'll
And
cover.
then we just cut to. That's fine.
Oh yeah. Like
Come on,
they've
son.
left the building. They've
Just
been totally
happened?
silent.
Why would it be fun?
Why?
I don't
What's
know.
with all
Is
these
there,
time
something,
skips?
is there something you want to say to me?
The money. Father. Sure, Alfred would
I have a
understand.
feeling
Is
that there
that
were several
all?
bits
I
that
said
they
I'd
cut out
protect
for time.
Bruce Wayne, you get off playing the hero, don't you? I don't need you then. I don't need anyone.
Wow, she's so complicated as a
She's not
character.
like normal girls. You
I'm
can
just gonna
definitely
say this
say
right
that.
now. What a
Oh yeah,
jackass.
like 1 minute she's a thing, and then the next
Yeah.
minute she's just something else. Despite everything you've come to. Yeah, wow, she's so deep.
Now you know I like the spotlight, but sometimes a girl's got to keep her secrets to herself. That's more like it. Jack, what are you doing here?
I always wait on you, Pool.
Your pool looks like somebody pissed in it. Also swamp.
They led us into a swamp, waiting for you. What the hell happened to you? I was out of my mind with worry.
Nothing. I'm fine.
Yeah, nothing happened to me.
Go home, Jack. I'm tired from fucking. I don't know if you've seen the news, but I had a hell of a weekend.
I'm sure you did. Bruce Wayne throws all the best after parties, doesn't he, Selena?
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Who would have
Well,
thought
I
the
got-
whore was the whore? All along.
Well, I guess that scene is over. Bye.
Look at the way Bruce is sleeping. He's just like, oh, I'm so handsome.
Oh god.
They're
I
attractive.
always sleep with
Stop
my
it.
leg up this high.
But no
Oh.
one's getting much sleep in Gotham. The kidnappers are still out there. Principal
Did this
Gordon
comic
can't
ever
leave
get
school
made?
until the cops
I
get
wish
more
to know.
info, which Bruce knows is unlikely to happen.
Okay,
I'm
you
reading
still got a
idiots.
strand of
School
her
be
hair. That's
cancelled if a
creepy.
kid got kidnapped. So
Ew.
go to school. I guess because it happened on
Okay,
school premises,
okay,
but like
then
it was
too
one
loud.
instance, right? Oh, I guess. Well, no, she was kidnapped from
You
Bruce's
better
party.
remember
So why are they
how the
canceling
animal
school?
movies.
You can't even go to
Back
Bruce
in the
Wayne's
day.
parties. Ah, nowhere's safe.
Oh my
School's
god.
canceled.
Dude.
And
Wait,
played
Bruce
by-
has caught Jack taking photos of Selena while she's
Oh, come on.
standing in the front of her
That
window,
is called
possibly
stalking.
naked.
Hiding
Ooh.
behind a very thin mailbox.
And he's a
Ah, no one see me here. Click,
Tom.
click.
It's weird how I'm black and everything else is blue.
This is going
Wait,
in my
what?
cringe compilation.
Wait, what?
You're moving?
What does it look like, genius? My parents don't think
Oh,
Gotham's
look how
safe.
cool you are.
Can
You
you
have a
imagine?
car.
We're
Oh, shit,
leaving.
Sherlock.
Gotham's not
so
safe.
sorry.
News, water's
We
wet.
go to Metropolis. I bet it's
Right.
better there.
We met
Well,
like
a
once. Why are you
day.
coming to my
And
house on your
in other
bike
news,
and
Lydia
asking me
hates
all these
stupidity.
questions?
Listen, can I ask you a few questions?
That's a
Go ahead. What
given.
do I care?
The
I
guys
was
who
just
took you,
in,
do you remember
water
anything
wet.
about them? You know, white, black.
Not really. Mostly, I was trying to forget.
The fuck?
At first, I
What's
thought it was
happening?
like just a
What are you
joke.
doing to your
Like it couldn't be
face?
real.
Stop
And the
it! Stop
guys
touching
who
your
took
face!
me, they were laughing it
I'm
up.
so
I
ashamed
wasn't
of
even
my
scared.
face.
It just seemed like it was just a prank.
Oh, come on.
Boss
That's
says we
definitely
took the wrong
Jack.
kid. Aren't you
That's-
lucky?
That's
As
it.
we let you go.
Are you
Tails is
fucking
go- Oh, yeah, that's gotta be
serious?
Jack.
That looks like Jack, yeah.
That's how he
that-
got
that's
his
gotta be
gimmick.
Jack.
His
He's got
heads
the
or
same
tails
strand
gimmick.
of hair over his
Bullshit.
face.
Boss asked we took the wrong kid. Aren't you lucky? Heads we let you go, tails we
Oh.
don't.
Oh God, schluck.
Schluck. Uh-oh.
Oh, please don't schluck my face. Ah, you did. You did exactly specifically not to do to my face. Then this person came in wearing some weird mask or something.
Is that female
That's
babe?
That's
Come on,
enough
look at the cat
schlucking
mask.
for now.
Yeah.
I couldn't see, despite my perfectly good eye. Whoever it was stopped those jackasses. Not soon enough, though. Do I remember anything? Yeah. This one guy kind of looked a lot like Jack Napier. You friends with that guy? I'd stay away from him. Also,
I
it's
also
really
took this-
weird I didn't fucking lead the story with the fact that one of the kids is someone I fucking remember. It's also strange I
Oh,
didn't tell
Jesus
this to the
Christ.
police.
Did you hear what happened to Zelena?
Yeah, they took her too, but she got away. Funny how that is. Luck, I guess. Heads or tails?
I'm not playing your games.
You
Tails.
will play my games.
Oh, I rolled right. I said tails and it's tails.
Yeah,
Ah,
one dude.
some people have all the luck.
Our detective after all.
After seeing Harvey, Bruce has to cover all the bases. But here's the thing about baseball. Oh, God.
What are you doing?
What's with all these aneurysms?
Hey, you. Great party the other night. Too bad it had to end early. Freaking cops.
Yeah, but don't worry, I'll have another one.
Another cop?
Another cop.
So what can I do for you?
Just returning this book.
By the way, that herb you were looking for last time, I found it in the system. What do you guys do at that Chinese school of yours anyway?
Did you sell it to anyone?
Yeah, someone named Jack Napier. Was dun dun dun.
Also, I like how we just ignored her question.
Oh, we just play Chinese checkers all day and build railroads.
Wasn't he that creepy dude from your party?
No.
Subtle.
To describe him.
You can slide into home, but still be called out. That was a long ass fucking gap between that.
For no payoff.
Just watching this,
So
God.
she lied to him.
I'm
said it
struggling
was
to
Jack,
see
but it
why we
was
should
Leaf.
connect to these characters.
Okay.
This
Why?
comic
My
book.
girls always got my back.
Artwork is
always.
terrible.
But Bruce was looking at the
Character.
screen.
Oh yeah, he's
Plot
close enough to it.
progression.
Yeah,
to
look
be
at
able to
that.
See
Look at
that.
that angle. He would be able to see that.
He's
Also,
like looking at the
racist.
screen. Unless he's like trying to stare at his
Little
tits right
racist.
now. Okay,
How
I guess.
awful.
That's
Also,
racist.
judging from the commentary that Ivy and Selena are working together to frame Jack. Okay. This is a very engaging story.
Yeah,
On the edge of my seat.
Oh, this is
Thank
terrible.
the sweet, ever loving good Lord. That was painful.
What the fuck did I just watch?
What she? Hot. No. Absolutely not.
I think we've just found a circle of torture.
As always, I apologize for nothing.
Of course not.
Of course.
Oh, Adam Wofford, there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Oh, right, stop that. Oh. Oh, I'm reading some comments. You guys are watching J Lone Bone and the guys from EFAP. These guys are pretty funny. This comic is so bad. I thought you guys were reading this train wreck of a comic. BRB.
Oh, thank God we're not. We are not reading that.
No, it's better to watch. It's better to watch these so we don't have to. That's what the title says.
Sean Retro, saying it's bad doesn't even begin to cover it. Everything.
No.
I got nothing.
I feel dumber.
I can't wait till part 5. That's all I gotta say.
You love being a shit stirrer, don't you?
Kind of, yes. Yes, it's kind of half of my MO.
You're lucky I love you like a brother, dude, but seriously, what the hell?
Just be glad they don't adapt this into some animated feature.
Oh dear Lord! Yeah, okay. It would never happen because DC animated stays king, but boy.
No.
Oh God.
Here's the only way I could describe this. I wouldn't even go to the length of illegally downloading that if it became an animated feature. I'd be like, no. I mean, on a different note, somebody said, you know, the Ghostbusters reboot ends up in the $5 bargain bin. I just said I wouldn't give it 5 cents. If this,
I wouldn't even take a look at it, even if it was on Amazon Prime or Netflix.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, you would have already paid for it because of, you know, subscription charges.
Yeah.
Heck, I wouldn't accept this movie if they were handing out as free copies. I'm like, why the hell do I want this?
You couldn't pay me £100 to watch it.
You couldn't pay me, you know, $5 or £5 to watch this. Like, no, I ain't watching that crap. Heck, you could not even give me 5 years worth of Twitch subscriptions from Oni to make me watch this.
Oh dang!
5 years worth of subscriptions? I guess I could go retire on my ranch and grow pizza chicken wing buffaloes.
Okay.
I will dabble into genetic meddling where I will crossbreed cows with chicken wings, buffaloes, and some pepperoni pizza.
Then they would really be called buffalo wings.
That'd be an abomination.
No more of an abomination than this comic book.
Good point.
And I will name it Oni's Mega Spicy Wings. Endorsed by Lydia Lideker Corporation. Like, Lydia Lideker?
What?
Lydia is now CEO of her own liquor corporation. Like, there she is, just sort of preening up her bow tie. Yes, I'm a CEO. Yes. And
I take it that last thing will pretty much cover it for tonight.
Yeah, because we are supposed to be trying to keep to a 2-hour format because of IRL commitments, and this is why we're broadcasting earlier on a Sunday. Dan, Gwyn, if you are still there, Sean and Adam, the reason that I'm broadcasting from 6 p.m. UK time is simply because of IRL commitments. It's why I'm not able to broadcast from 9 p.m. in the evening on a Sunday. I'm thinking, and I stress thinking, for 2 weeks only, starting from Halloween night, we will, just for that fortnight, and by the way, we're talking about the week, not the game series, just for that fortnight, we will go back to broadcasting from 9 in the evening, but only for that 2-week period. Only because, you know, like I say, I've got commitments. Adam says it could be worse. They could be reading the new Warriors comic that got cancelled for being one bad. One of the characters get their powers from internet gas. You're serious? You're serious?
Ugh.
Yeah, the new Warriors.
Sounds like the writers were full of hot air that day.
If we were on Twitch, you would be donating bits to that point, Steve. Hey, Aaron. Aaron.
Hey.
Just to give you heads up, Aaron. The reason we're on so early, and Adam, sure, that I'm just repeating just for Aaron's sake. Aaron, the reason I'm on early now is because of IRL commitments. On a Sunday evening, I could technically start broadcasting from 9 p.m, but it would only be a half-hour show if I were to do that, because I've got commitments later on in the evening. So yeah, that's the reason we're on so early, because I toyed and I asked Lydia about this. I toyed with the idea of possibly broadcasting from 2 a.m. UK time on a Wednesday UK time, of moving the show to there, because then I'd be able to tap into a slightly wider audience, and because it'd be a little bit more accommodating to those on the US side, because, and to be fair to Raiden, Lids, Kaiju whenever he does get back on here, and to Win, they had to accommodate to the original 9 p.m. UK broadcasting, because at that time that was the only way I was able to meet people halfway. But because I'm effectively a night worker now, I'm actually much more mentally and physically alert in the early hours of the morning, so I thought it might be helpful.
Oh, you do the night shift now?
Yeah,
so you do night shift stuff now?
Yeah, I'm on night shift work now.
Yeah, kind of like what I was back when I was at Argos.
Yeah. So
I did that. Yeah, I did that last August.
So I was putting the idea across to Liz, but she then said that that's schedule conflicting with both her D&D sessions with her, Win, and the D&D group they're part of, and it also clashes whenever she's in Oni streams. So this was the only way I could meet people halfway. It means everyone's having to come in a lot earlier than before, but this is the only way I could keep the show still on a Sunday night and still have fun the way we do. When you get given lemons, you make lemonade, and you work with what you have. So Aaron, for future reference, 5 p.m. No, 6 p.m. on a Sunday evening. That's when we go from now. But like I say, with the exception of Halloween night and the first Sunday of November, we'll be broadcasting at 9 p.m, but only whenever I've got time off. Adam's saying, yeah, so each character's names, there is Snowflake, Safe Space, Trailblazer, and she's a magic backpack, be half human, half vampire, internet gas kid. Look at the cover of the comic, enjoy. I think I'll pass.
Me too. I think I remember hearing about that a while back.
Yeah.
Although there is an article that I found about Marvel, but I think I'm going to save that for a later date, because I would love to hear Wynn's opinion on it, because it deals with a character that she grew very fond of over the years.
Yeah, that's... If we can get Wynn in for next week, or, like I say, if we can aim for 28 days from now, when I go to do the Halloween edition of SKL, where the likes of Monstrous Raiden, Kaiju Noir, Evil Win, and then Ghoulish Lydia will make their appearances. And here's the weirdest thing: I can imagine Win wearing the Evil Lyn outfit. But probably not the 80s one, and the reason for this, I appreciate in the 80s it was a much more innocent time and what have you, but when I watch some of those 80s He-Man episodes today, the ladies' outfits were a tad suggestive when you can see shapes. But then again, as we mentioned earlier, when you look at the art style that Black Cat had in Spider-Man the Animated Series, when she'd go from Felicia to Black Cat, the animators didn't leave much to the imagination. Whereas if that was to be fair, with Spectacular Spider-Man, with the way they had Black Cat animated, it was much more subtle. But I think, because we're now in that sort of age, like, hang on, you do know kids are going to be watching this, so you're technically giving them their first taste of stuff they shouldn't really be looking at. Make of that what you will. I also find it amusing to this day. One of the reasons that the Incredible Hulk animated series was cancelled was when they did the direction change from the season 1 arc to season 2, which only lasted 7 episodes, they said the show was too dark and brooding. But I'm like, it's a man that transformed from a average 6-foot frame of a man into a 8-9 foot muscular behemoth every time he gets angry. And also, this is a guy that's got mental, emotional trauma issues. They don't include that in the animated series, but in the comics, Brian Banner was an asshole towards Bruce. The other reason they said they changed up is because, and I quote, the Incredible Hulk series was too erotic. And I'm like,
how?
Since fucking when?
I mean, I would be able to understand it if there were certain moments where She-Hulk was being a tad too suggestive, because the way that she was portrayed, more so in season 1 than season 2, she was a little bit on the flirty, catty side. But I think that was probably a side effect on her personality, when Jen started looking at her, so was like, ooh, I'm hot. And don't lie to you. And women, if they happen to be listening to this, don't lie to yourselves. If you got to be that refined and felt self-confident, you'd be looking at yourself going, yeah. But that's by the by. So when they go and make those changes, I'm like, I'm not buying into that, because again, it just comes across as nonsensical, because the way that show was written for the first season, that to this day stands as the absolute best animated interpretation of the Incredible Hulk. There's the 82 series, which there's a couple of bits and pieces they do that's very faithful to the origin. But the idea that Banner regrows his clothes when he changes back is like, no, that's not how physics work. Yeah. I mean, literally, there's this, when they have the episode Enter the She-Hulk, because She-Hulk is able to control her transformations, I think it's probably because her taking all of the gamma ray component was not as severe as Bruce, because probably by that point it had been diluted. She has the strength, but she's able to retain her personality, her intelligence, and her memories when she goes. So she's able to go from like 8-foot green goddess and then shrink back down to say 5'6", blonde-haired Jennifer Walters, but as you see her going down, you see her clothes going from shredded back to their original form, and as you see Bruce shrinking down, you see his clothes reforming. I'm like, no, that's not how this works. This is not the symbiote. Although if you imagine the Venom ever bonding with the Hulk, there's nightmare fuel in its own right, especially if it's current Venom from the movies. He'd have way too much fun with that. And also, I've seen a few clips from the trailer. Carnage is able to make himself breathe because there's another symbiote in the movie. I'm not sure if the lady in question that becomes a symbiote is Latina or Asian American, but you see this sort of look in her eyes that Venom kind of has, and she goes and changes. And here's the thing, Sony, you did good with the first Venom movie. I have to point this out though. Cletus Cassidy does not become Carnage by biting Venom. That's not how that works. That's just dumb.
It was more, from what I've heard, it was just more of infecting him.
Yeah, but
Like that, I don't know.
see, if it was Venom biting Cletus, I'd say, all right, fair enough. But Cletus bit him. It's like, that's not how this works. You don't bite someone and then get affected yourself. It's like, no. That'd be like if you go to bite a vampire, do you suddenly become one?
No.
Or like that one piece that was used in a Treehouse of Horror special from The Simpsons where Barney's actually eating a zombie, and I'm like, Barney, should you be doing that? But considering his low intelligence, make of that what you will. But yeah, I don't know. And on that note, like I say, those are our new screening times. At some stage, I would like to, let's say for the sake of discussion, at some point in the future, I get Sunday nights off. Let's say for the sake of. We might be able to go to a point where SKL goes off at, say, 1 or 2 in the morning, my time. We'll just have to wait and see, but it depends on the circumstances, because these were the cards I was dealt, and I've got to roll with it. You know, and from one perspective, it's better than not having the show at all. Because, you know, I still want to have fun with this, but I have to work with what I have to work with. And the other thing you missed this evening, Aaron, you'll be able to see this when the show goes off the air. I previewed Terminator 4 review. Which, to be fair, I did say stress to Raiden beforehand. You knew this was coming.
I did.
Still, could be worse.
Yes.
But we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it.
Well, my sole focus, with regards to movie reviews, now, everyone knows the Terminator reviews are supposed to be in September, but because I've had some IRL issues back in February, you know, where I had to take a sabbatical for mental health reasons, because, to be fair, it's not just me, a lot of people were going through that at the time, and having moved from house to apartment, you know, that's been an experience in its own right as well. And it's, you know, when you get things starting to settle, that's when you start finding if you can get your rhythm back. And, you know, I think I've got my rhythm back because the guys loved the because last week we previewed Terminator 3 and we also previewed the 24th anniversary of Liar Liar, which they were not expecting. Because normally I'm very, very forthcoming with these sort of things, but they're like, oh wait, reviewing Liar Liar? So this is the month of Hulktober. So this month we'll be finishing off with the remaining 2 Bill Bixby reviews, and I've only told one person about this. Halloween Night After Dark returns, just for one night though, and I'm going to be giving this classic the Jurassic Park 25th anniversary treatment. So I have reviewed this movie before, but not to this standard. I'm going in with all guns blazing, and well, I haven't written the script for this, but shade will be thrown that Raider will pop up and go, "Sir, that is shade throwing that I would be immensely proud of."
Yep.
Yes. But that's 4 weeks away, and I've got a lot to do in that time, so essentially 3 reviews in the space of a month again, but I'll make it worth it. It might mean one of the Hulk reviews are not so well done, but those that have seen the 1989 trial of the Incredible Hulk, it wasn't exactly anything noteworthy. It was more about Daredevil than Banner himself. Oh, and also, this is the thing I'll cover in that review. I find it amusing, I find it intriguing how, Bruce will go from Banner to the Hulk and then suddenly be clean shaven as the Hulk, where he had like this very long grey shaggy beard before it. So is turning Hulk suddenly like the natural form of Gillette? Goes, Hulklet, the best a Hulk can get, or something to that effect. Anyway, we're prolonging to the point where Raiden's like, "Yo, man, love you, but I got people to slander."
And food to eat.
And yeah, so I'll probably start work on those reviews this week, and what I'll probably do is watch both back to back, get the reviews written that way, and what I tend to do now as a means of production, if I'm filming camera segments, I'll do 2 movies in one go, only because I'm only able to get little to no sound either late at night or the early hours of the morning. So, and I do know I have a tendency to be loud with vocals, and that's not something that's on purpose. I think that's something, as a kid, I was always being talked over, so I end up having to speak up just so I can be heard. And, I do know I have to work on an inner voice at the early hours of the morning, because I know there are neighbors that are sleeping. I get that. But it's the only time of the night where I can do voiceovers and have absolute clarity with the recordings, because if I go to do them during the day, which I'm not ruling out as an option, it may involve using a lot of noise reduction, which means the quality of the voiceovers will drop. But I'm not having that as like a first option. It's one of those, if there's not too much noise outside and it's like the odd car going by every 2 minutes or so, then what I would do in post-production is just put music in the background, just so that it removes enough of the distraction, for lack of a better description. So yeah, that's where we stand with that. So Heck, what I may even do is preview all 3 reviews Halloween night. And this is the only clue I'll give away. We'll show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Lid's got it. But on that note, folks, thank you for tuning in to the 2nd episode of Season 9, or episode 154, if you're going in chronological order. Win, we hope you can come back someday. We miss you. And you
Indeed
too,
we
Kaiju.
do.
But this is MJ Knight saying good night from the night, along with my ever suave and sophisticated slandering co-host, the Cyber-Raiden.
Yeah.
The never outspoken with regards to savagery, but we love her like a sister, the awesome Lydia.
Oh. See you guys later.
And the respectable, distinguished, regal Sir Stephen.
Indeed.
We'll catch you next week, folks, and thank you for tuning in, and thank you for so many other people coming back. That means a lot. 6 p.m. start time now, UK time, so that's 1 p.m. Eastern time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. See you next time, folks.
And don't forget to check out MJ Knight's Teespring page.
Yes, and don't forget to pick up Kaiju's book, and don't forget to subscribe to Oni Rikaku on Twitch. Give him many bits and give him many subscriptions so he can then go roll in his money like Scrooge McDuck in a money bin. I'm now picturing saying, "Yay, I'm swimming in money! Honey, you know we need to pay that with grocery bills." Oh yeah, that too. Maybe I should tip the pizza boy more often. Peter, Peter delivery guy, how do you feel about a $200 delivery tip? Honey, give it here $20. But $20. Okay, $20 plus 50 cents. I'll allow this.
I'll give you the 50 cents.
Love you, dude. But seriously, go to twitch.tv/Oni Rikaku. He does reasonably competent Twitch streams after assistance from Ruby, of course. He deserves the bits, he deserves the subs. Support the guy because he's worth it. So Oni's L'Oreal. She got it. See you next time, folks. Going for real now.
Peace
out, y'all.